The following digital content is produced by the CSUN Sports Network and presented by Dignity Health Northbridge Hospital Medical Center. CSUN Matador Sports Properties in Learfield IMG College would like to thank the following corporate partners: Dignity Health Northbridge Hospital, Under Armour, Northridge Toyota, Buffalo Wild Wings, True Barbershop, Mid-Valley Dental Care, the Warner Center Marriott, AAA Flag and Banner, Meridian Point, the Airtel Plaza Hotel, the Sundial, and Sisto Sports Medicine.
Welcome to Las Vegas, Michelob Ultra Arena in Mandalay Bay. Big West Tournament, the play-in round, 7, 10, 8, 9. I'm Ghazal Hassan. He's Alan Zinsmeister. CSUN Sports Network presented to you by our good friends at Dignity Health, who are also the game day sponsors today. And it is the first round, Alan. It is March Madness. We had started a little bit early. I know ideally you would have wanted to start on Thursday, but you're here, and the matter at hand is the game in front of us.
Well, you know what? The Matadors, had everything been normal and only 8 teams make the tournament, the Matadors would have been starting on Thursday, but it's kind of like a play-in game in a sense, and I think that might bode well for the Matadors, getting a chance to get out here and seeing this floor and getting the game in before Thursday. I think they're going to do well.
Listen, it's not kind of like, it is a play. It's what it is. Okay, let's be honest. It's what it is. I'm sure people in the Big West office are going to get upset with me for calling it, but everybody knows I tell the truth. Doesn't matter who I upset, and I'm not so happy with some of those people right now, as you know. Let's go back. Big West history. They've been 10 teams 5 times: 88, 89, and 90, and then 94 and 95. Only once has the number 10 seed won, and that was in 1994. UC Irvine went all the way to the Big West Championship before losing to New Mexico State 70-64. That was at the Thomas and Mack Center. In terms of the 8-9 games, the 8 seed, which the Matadors are today, they're the 8 seed, have won 3 of 5 times. It's like that 8-9 matchup in the NCAA tournament, which is always intriguing.
Well, that means that the numbers seem to be in the favor of the Matadors, and that's a wonderful thing. But you know how I am about numbers, Ghazal. It doesn't really matter. It only matters what you do when you're on the floor today.
They didn't play this year, the Long Beach State and CSUN, so to kind of reset it for you, on January 15th, CSUN was set to play 2 on the 15th at 16th at the Walter Pyramid. I, as a matter of fact, had already made it to Long Beach. I was in Long Beach at about 1 o'clock, and I got a text. I pulled over, looked at my text. You never want to drive when you're texting, or read a text when you're driving, AZ. And I saw that the game had been canceled, and CSUN ended up playing at Cal State Fullerton that weekend, so it worked out for them. But how about the Beach? Did not play a game until January 1st of 2021. They only ended up playing 16 games on the year. Last year in December, Alan, they played 14 games. Where do you think Long Beach is right now from an emotional and mental standpoint?
Well, I think they understand that they've nowhere near had enough games to feel confident the way that they would normally feel confident. And the fact that they've had players that took a pause and then came off the pause, so many things that's not in their favor, but they are a staff that's veteran. Coach Munson is a wonderful coach, and so I think if there's anybody who could handle the situation of having so few games, it's Coach Munson.
What's interesting is, AZ, I think Long Beach State is the same situation as CSUN. They want to wipe the slate clean, wipe it all away, and start over. An opportunity for the Matadors and an opportunity for the Beach.
Exactly, and that's how you have to look at it. And when you do it that way, if you're not thinking about what happened in the past, you're looking at this as a fresh, you feel so good. You feel like, you know what, we can beat anybody that's standing in front of us. And I expect that's how the teams are feeling.
How do you feel from a CSUN perspective? Let's go back to last weekend. 2 winnable games they weren't able to close. You're happy, obviously. Hey, Riverside's a pretty good basketball team, and you're able to compete with them for 40 minutes on 2 nights. But was it fool's gold? No Orense Cheatham, and 2 winnable games down the stretch. The last 2 minutes on Friday and Saturday, the Matadors weren't able to produce any offense.
That's a good question about the fool's gold, because they didn't have Orense Cheatham, and so would it have been totally different if he were there? That I don't know. I actually think that the Matadors probably maybe had a little bit of a letdown because Cheatham wasn't there, and maybe if he were there and they had been thinking about him all week long, they may have played a little bit better. But in regards to the Matadors not being able to close games, that's not like them. Normally when the Matadors are in a position to win a ball game under 5 minutes and they're leading, they normally do a really good job of closing those games. So I think maybe the last couple of games was not quite the normal Matador squad, but I know they've been thinking about it a lot, Ghazal, and I think if they're in a position to close the game, I think they'll try to do all the right things. I think they will do the right things. Sometimes the opponent has something to say about it, but I think they'll do the right things.
See, I actually don't think it was full goal. Obviously, Riverside is a better team with Arinze Cheatham, but I do think CSUN was ready to compete on both nights. They could have easily won on both nights, particularly, I think Saturday is the one that hurts. Saturday is the one you had in your hands and you weren't able to go. But we'll find out tonight. If they come out and can control this game against a pretty talented Long Beach team and they can win pretty convincingly, we'll know the team we saw on Friday and Saturday was just a team kind of going up against a pretty good opposition, a pretty good opponent.
Right, because I think if the team that played Friday and Saturday, if they come out and play with that type of intensity, if they run their offense, like they did, and they played, I thought, pretty doggone good defense, they should do well tonight. But, it is a different team. This Beach squad is very, very talented, very athletic. It's the type of team that they may not run a whole lot of offensive sets, but their individual players can take you one-on-one, and that could cause problems for the Matador youngsters.
I addressed this with Mark Godfrey. You'll hear it on the coach's report from Mid-Valley Dental. I said, hey, the last month and a half when the freshmen have had to play, they've had a distinct advantage when they go small. They did it against Bakersfield. They did it against Riverside. They did it against Hawaii. Long Beach State is the one team, I think, that when the Matadors go small can kind of match them man for man if they want. Now, they have some size, but if the Matadors want to speed the game up and go small, Long Beach State, Dan Muntz and his staff, they have no problem doing that.
They want to go small. Oh, believe me, if they can go small, if they can allow their guards, because that's where they're strongest in the guard position, if they can allow their guards to just go one-on-one, man-on-man, small-on-small, they will feel very, very comfortable, because then they don't believe they have to go inside and run an offense, so to speak. But the Matadors, they're not going to face a team that has so many talented, long players, because Long Beach State is a very, very talented team. They just haven't had enough games to get great chemistry.
The other thing Long Beach State has done, they've played a lot of close games. Matadors, 5-4 this year in games decided by 5 points or less. That's 3-3 in Big West Conference play. Long Beach State 5-6 in those games, 4-6 in Big West Conference. But think about this: they lost the season finale against UC Irvine at the Walter Pyramid by 13. The 7 games prior to that UCI game, Alan, were all decided by 5 points or less. 9 of their 12 Big West games, 4 points or less. So this Long Beach State team is very comfortable playing in those close games.
Yes, and that just proves what we were talking about in regards to talent. Talent will keep you in games, but what makes you lose games is when you just don't have the right chemistry or you don't have the right trust, or you just haven't played enough games to feel comfortable to know what to do in those situations. But it's not about talent. They are a very talented team.
All right, Alan, it's what everybody's been waiting for. The PhD of the hardwood, Dr. Z, Alan Zinsmeister with Z's Keys. What are the keys to victory for the Matadors this afternoon in the first round of this Big West tournament?
The Matadors are going to have to corral Isaiah Washington. Isaiah Washington wants to get downhill, Ghazal. He can grab a rebound and just go coast to coast and get all the way to the other rim. They can't allow that, so they've got to corral Isaiah Washington, make sure that they don't allow him to get downhill. Secondly, they have to be aggressive rebounders. Tonight, whoever hits first, whoever decides they're going to be the more aggressive team, will likely be the victor. So the Matadors are going to have to be very aggressive. The post players have to get bodies on folks and aggressively rebound. And last but not least, and I'm going to say this, Ghazal, the Matadors have to share the basketball. They've got to trust their offense. They've got to run the offensive system, because when they do, they shoot a higher percentage. Everybody gets involved. Nobody's standing around and watching, and they are very difficult to guard.
Matadors and Long Beach State first round Big West Basketball Championships here at Michelob Ultra Arena at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. In case you didn't know, normally this tournament is played in Anaheim, but because of the COVID situation, they moved into Las Vegas so they could execute a bubble, and me and Alan have been part of that bubble. It's a pretty interesting scenario, pretty interesting situation. I'm sure you'll hear about it as we go through on the broadcast. Coming up next, as part of Matador's pregame from Dignity Health, Mark Godfrey joins us on the Coach's Report, presented by Mid-Valley Dental Care, the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Play-in round, Big West Tournament 2021. Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
Welcome back to Matadors pregame. Mark Godfrey now joins us on the Coaches Report, brought to you by Mid-Valley Dental. It is the play-in round Big West Tournament. Matadors take on Long Beach State. First, Coach, before we get to the game, how about Darius Brown and TJ Starks, the Big West honors? TJ, a first-team honoree, newcomer of the year, and Darius gets second-team honors. I'm sure you're proud of both those young men.
Well, I really am, and excited about our whole team. And, it's not an individual kind of an award deal, but at the same time, it's happy for your guys, and they deserved it. I thought they did a great job this year, and I thought Alex had a real shot maybe as being the freshman of the year, too. So I know the young guy over at Irvine was very deserving. But those guys all played well, and I think they deserve everything they've got.
You know, it comes full circle, Coach. We started the year in Vegas. You're back here for the conference tournament. Any kind of advantage? I mean, you guys had the similar situation. You had to go through all the COVID protocols with the testing and the bubbling. Does it make it easier that you don't have to explain that again? Or maybe I'm taking the other direction. Maybe you had to explain everything all over again.
Well, it's a little bit different. I think the fact we were here early might help us a hair. I walked in this arena. It looked just like the other one. That we played in earlier in the year, I guess the T-Mobile. But anyway, our guys, I think at this point in the year, because they could play anywhere. We could be playing in Anchorage, Alaska. They'd be excited to play, and I know they're excited to play today.
One advantage you've had, Coach, recently when you made adjustments, when you go small, you guys always seem to go on a little bit of a run. Long Beach State, though, they seem like one of the teams that when you go small, they might be able to match up with you a little better than some of the other teams you'd played.
Yeah, they've got the one big kid in the middle. Actually, I remember watching him at DeMatha High School, Joe Hampton, when I was coaching at NC State, and he's a nice player. But, they don't really have tons of size. I do think their strength is their perimeter players. And, a number of them can score, and they can play, and they get out a little bit and run. And so we'll see. I think every game kind of unfolds just a little bit differently. Once you start the game, we'll see how this one plays out.
We've talked about how the freshmen have grown up over particularly the last month. It's almost been like accelerated. Is Papa Gottfried ready to hand the keys to the three young guys you're going to have starting today?
Well, let me say this. I'm so proud of them. They've gotten better and better, and I think what's happened is made our team better. And, we've had three losses here in the last couple of weeks. The Hawaii, the bank shot there near almost at the buzzer, and then the two Riverside games that were right down to the last, possession or so of the game. And we've gotten a lot better. I think it's because the way those guys have played. They've stepped up, the freshmen. They've done a really nice job. I think they're learning how to play at this level. And, it takes time. Sometimes we all want to speed up the experience process, but it's just a process that takes a little bit of time. And I think those three guys have really done a nice job.
Coaches all season, and we've had this discussion, you always talk about the one game at a time. You got to focus on what's ahead of you. Coming into a tournament like this, obviously, you lose, you go home. Does it make it easier, Coach, or does it make it harder? Or at this point, do they all understand what the stakes are?
Well, they understand. They're clearly understand, and the great thing is, I think if we play well, we can play with anybody and beat anybody. There's always examples. For example, Morehead State in the Ohio Valley Conference. I think Appalachian State. I think in the Sun Belt, they lost their last 6 regular season games, and then turned around and won the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Morehead upset Belmont. I mean, everybody's got a chance. That's what makes March so fun. Everybody has an opportunity. We just need to come out and play really well, but our players are very well aware of that.
Coach, again, thanks again. Not your first rodeo, and it's one game today against Long Beach State, and hopefully you get to survive and move on. Good luck, and thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mark Godfrey joining us on the pregame show. We're back with the opening tip after this.
Tonight's starting lineups and opening tip are presented to you by Northridge Toyota. With over 700 new, certified, and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, they're sure to have one that's just right for you. Come in and see why Northridge Toyota is the fastest growing Toyota dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care. Located at Nordoff across the street from the Northridge Mall, and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics.
Starting lineups and opening tip brought to you by Northridge Toyota. We'll start with Long Beach State, 5-11 overall, 4-8 in Big West play. The point guard, the dynamic Isaiah Washington, 6'1 senior, St. Raymond's High School in New York City, comes to Long Beach State from Iona, played 2 years at the University of Minnesota as well. Joining him in the backcourt, Jaden Jones. Jones, a 6'5" freshman, Long Beach, California, St. Anthony High School. Up front, Jordan Roberts. Roberts is a 6'8" senior, Bakersfield, California, Richfield High School. Joined in the front court by Chance Hunter. Hunter, 6'6" junior, Inglewood, California, by way of Cerritos College. And the man in the middle, Joe Hampton, 6'8" junior, Bowie, Maryland. Transfer from East LA College, played at both DeMatha and the Oak Hill Academy in the greater Bethesda, Maryland area. Dan Munson in his 14th season at Long Beach State, assisted by Mike Scholl, Senku Carey, Mark Rogers, Jerry Woods. Of course, want to also acknowledge Bobby Braswell, one of the assistants who opted out this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Matadors, typical starting lineup. Darius Brown, 6'1", junior from Pasadena, second team All Big West selection. TJ Starks, 6'2", redshirt junior, Oak Cliff, Texas, by way of Texas A&M, first team All Big West. And Big West Newcomer of the Year, Amon Anderson, 6'3" freshman, Lusinger High School. Fidelis Okereke, 6'6" freshman, King Drew High School. And Alex Berg-Faladze, the 6'9" freshman from Quatsi, Georgia, Modesto Christian High. 3 freshmen starting for head coach Mark Gottfried, assisted by Jim Herrick, Jeff Dunlap, Director of Basketball Operations John Van Houten, Graduate Assistant Tyson Kygar, Graduate Assistant Daniel Purple Hayes, Lead Student Manager Devontae Morris, and Director of Sports Medicine, our good friend Stephen Grech. And Grech's excited. He's a big Raiders fan. Our hotel's right across the street from Allegiant Stadium, Alan.
Yeah, I know he's got to be looking across the street and saying, what if?
Playing round 2021 Big West Tournament here at Michelob Ultra Arena. We're a little bit delayed here, waiting for our friends at ESPN3 to get going. Trent Rush and Richie Schuler calling the game for them, but I know you're listening to us. We are the clean glass broadcast, as it were. Matadors in the home whites, they're the higher seed. Dark jerseys for the Beach, who will move left to right to left, move the Matadors. Empty arena, kind of eerie here. And we're still waiting. Now, because it's a weird situation, we did not get the official list today. And normally, there's a note on the live stats. There is not at this point. Once we know the officials, we saw all the officials getting our COVID test this morning. We just didn't know who was assigned to our game. Everybody you talked to was assigned. Del Dre and Michael Irving were assigned to the other game.
Exactly, and I think I recognize Tony Padilla. And
uh-oh. Don't tell Reggie.
And I think, is that Frank Harvey over there talking to Coach Munson?
That is Frank Harvey and Tony Padilla. I don't know who the third guy is.
And I can't think of his name right now.
Well, you got 2 or 3. Okereke ready to jump, and now the tip control. He outjumps Chance Hunter. It's CSUN basketball underway. 2021 Big West Tournament. Angle right on the far side. Anderson. Back to Darius Brown, who'll sweep on the dribble to the left side. Top of the circle, Okereke for CSUN. Left wing back to DB2. Darius, left-handed dribble to the rim. Off the window, no. Offensive rebound, Okereke keeps it alive. Right wing, Starks fakes the 3. Pulls up from 16, that's short. Fidelis catches it, back out to Darius Brown. Mid-range, 14-footer back iron, no. And the defensive rebound, Jordan Roberts for the Beach. Left to right, Long Beach State, Isaiah Washington, the leaner from about 14. No, tapped around, saved by Jordan Roberts, nearly stolen by Anderson, but recovered by Isaiah Washington. Left side, Jaden Jones, and he turns it over.
Yeah, Jaden Jones is a very good three-point shooter, especially from the baseline, and he caught that pass and stepped out of bounds. Matadors had some pretty good looks, and those shots weren't close.
No score. We've played about 46 seconds here at Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, postseason in the Big West. Here's Brown into the forecourt, angle left near side, Amon Anderson for CSUN, top of the circle. This is TJ Starks. Starks squared up by Robert, 6'8" on 6'2". High post left side, Alex Merkbaladze swings, foul line extended right side, Anderson down to the baseline, short jumper, no, and a whistle. Free throws coming up for young Amon Anderson.
Yeah, he was hit on his wrist as he released the ball. He did a nice head fake and put the ball down on the floor, and because of that, he's going to get a good look and was fouled.
Mystery is solved. Tony Nunez Jr., the third official. I'm Vincent D'Onofrio over here from Law & Order Criminal Intent, trying to solve it. And here's Anderson to the free throw line. Amon, 74% free throw shooter on the season, 17 of 23, and the first one goes through Swish. 16 games, remember he missed time with an injury, Allen. About 20 minutes a game, 5.6 points, 2.3 rebounds, shot 43% from beyond the arc to the freshman from Lusinger, and the lefty cans both free throws, and the Matadors on top, 2-0.
That's a good sign to see Matadors hitting free throws early.
Ambling into the forecourt. This is Washington. He is fun to watch. Angle right near side, terminates his dribble. High post left side, Hampton, the kid from the D.C. area. Little pump to his left, right hand, yes.
Yeah, that time he just used his length to get over Karake.
So Hampton with the bucket makes it 2-2 game. Right side, Amon Anderson. Right of center, this is Merkbaladze with a quick touch. Left wing, Brown. Top of the circle, Starks pulls the trigger. The three-pointer leaves it short, but it dances off the back iron and drops down for Starks. 5-2, CSUN with the lead.
Talk about a shooter's touch.
Roberts for Long Beach State, just to the left of the lane, about 12 feet out. Left of center, Jaden Jones. Right wing, Isaiah Washington. To his left on the dribble is Washington. Bounce pass, drops it down for Hampton. Left hand, yes.
That's a little too easy, man. That was a pick and roll and wide open.
Hampton averages about 11 points and 5 rebounds in 23 minutes. The junior college transfer began his career at Penn State but never played. Okereke on the left block, lays it up and in, and a flop warning on Joe Hampton. How about that? Okereke, a nice little footwork down in the low post, lays it up and in, and draws the flop warning.
And sometimes when a guy goes down on the floor, it kind of throws your shot off. So I'm very impressed that Okereke was able to keep his composure and make that shot.
CSUN 7, Long Beach State 4. We're under 18 minutes to play first half. Isaiah Washington in front, schoolboy legend from New York City. Right corner, Jones, right to the baseline to Jaden Jones, puts that to the left wing. Taking the three is Hunter, left of center. Now attacking underneath is Hampton, and he lays it up and in. Nice strong move against Merkbaladze.
Hampton is not settling for the little outside jump shots.
Long pass ahead to Okereke, who can't finish on the layup. 7-6 CSUN, Long Beach State basketball. Pushing is Washington. Right wing three. Chance Hunter drops it down.
That's his favorite shot. And transition three-point shots are always the easiest to make.
Long Beach State has made 4 shots in a row. They lead 9-7. 17 minutes remain in the first half. TJ Starks right of the lane on the baseline, dribbles it out of bounds, turns it over.
You know, the Matadors are going to have trouble if nobody's going to be able to stop Hampton underneath, and Hampton's going out right now, but Hampton has had his way around the basket early.
So Ramel Mansell, 6'9" sophomore, St. Bernard's High School, Playa del Rey, California product, checks in on the season, played in just 11 games, averaged 4 points and 4 rebounds. Leaving the game is Hampton, who had 6 points, 3 of 3 from the floor. Long Beach State with the early 9-7 lead. Jaden Jones goes right to the left baseline underneath. Mansell strong to the basket around Okereke. No, but a foul on Fidelis.
Well, that's the game plan. Look at Long Beach State. They're saying, look, we're not going to take a lot of perimeter jump shots. We're going to play inside out. And right now the bigs are having their way with the Matador bigs.
So Mansell, limited sample at the free throw line, just 7 of 14 this year, 5 of 10 in Big West play. Wasn't a great free throw shooter last year, Allen. In 32 games, of 23 of which he started, just 49%. First free throw coming. And that one rattles off the rim and goes down.
Checking in from Long Beach State, number 0, RJ.
Mansell in 2 games last year against CSUN, Allen, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. In 2 games, averaged 7.5 points and 3 rebounds in 25 minutes.
Well, Festus is in the ball game, and the last time Festus and Dumania played this Long Beach State squad, he had a career high 14 points.
11-7 Long Beach State, a 7-0 run for the Beach. Matadors basketball, CSUN with possession, left side Anderson, left baseline underneath Undemanya, the up fake, no. Fights back for it, gets it blocked by Mansell, and a foul on Mansell. And that means free throws coming up for Festus. Good energy early. Festus, the 6'7 sophomore from Anambra, Nigeria, checks into the game. They go right down inside to him amongst the trees for Long Beach State.
Yeah, he just has to remember not to bring the ball down all the way to the floor sometimes. He catches it, bounces it, does a little bit too much head faking, and he had a chance actually to make it a little easy layup right at the beginning.
Colin Slater checks in, the 6'1 junior transfer out of Tulane. Played his high school ball up in Fresno. As the first free throw good for Undemanya. Festus, as I mentioned, averaging 4.7 points, 3.6 rebounds, was a 60% free throw shooter this year, and he made them both. And it's an 11-9 score. The Matadors end the 7-0 run by Long Beach State. Here's Slater, front court right. Dribble handoff to R.J. Roden, who's also checked in. Roden is a redshirt freshman from Daytona Beach. Down to the baseline they go for Hunter. Back outside. Right of center, this is Jaden Jones. Mansell lobs it in, big-to-big passing. Baseline right. Hunter channels it out to the left corner for Slater. Bounces around, offensive rebound for the Beach. Mansell, air ball, shot clock violation. It'll be Matador basketball.
Well, that was excellent defense by the Matadors, making sure that they double-teamed in the paint when they needed to and forced that shot clock violation.
15:58 to play in the first half. CSUN trails Long Beach State 11-9. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center. We're back.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag HelloHumanKindness.
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
'21 Big West postseason, the play-in game. 8-seeded Matadors against the 9-seeded Beach, 11-9 at our first break. AZ, what do you see and what's developing out there?
Well, the Matadors have gotten to the free throw line. They've taken 4 free throws, and they've made all 4 of them. So that's huge for the Matadors because right now they're being out-rebounded 4-2. I like the fact, though, that the Matadors are trying to run their offense. Defensively, I think they're going to settle down and they're going to get better because right now, shooting 57%, 4 of 7. Long Beach State is shooting 33%, 2 of 6. The Matadors are shooting 4 of 7.
No, you're right. It's Long Beach shooting 4 of 7.
Okay,
the logos are wrong. The logos are wrong.
Okay, so I did have it right. Okay.
Typical Big West. Logos are wrong.
Okay, I thought that. Thank you, Gazal. But yeah, the Matadors right now are doing a pretty good job, getting the ball inside, and
now they've corrected them. They must be listening to us. 11-9. Merkvaladze Brown on the floor with Undemanya, Anderson, and Starks for CSUN. For the Beach, it's Jones, Hunter, Mansell, Roden, and Slater. This is Darius Brown, right to left for CSUN. Left wing on the near side, this is TJ Starks. Starks on dribble, working against Roden to his right, and the mid-range 17-footer from just to the left of the paint is good.
When they can isolate Starks on the left side, one-on-one, he's very difficult to guard.
Slater calling out a play on that mid-court logo. For Long Beach State, we're tied at 11. Left wing, Roden. Right corner on the near side, Mansell. In front, Hunter thought about the 3. To his right corner Mansell for Long Beach State, 7 to shoot. Hunter with a step back 3. Too short, top of the backboard, tapped out by Starks into the hands of Merkvaladze. Here's Brown triggering the break. He's got Festus, puts it up off the glass. No, Festus with a hand on it, tapped out and run down by Chance Hunter for Long Beach State. 11 apiece, left to right comes the Beach. This is Slater, kicks back to the left wing for Hunter. Right of center, 3 from Roden. Front rim, backboard, no. Defensive rebound on Demania. Looks like he has a little spring in his step, AZ.
Yeah, he's got a lot of spring, and that's the second turnover by Starks. Starks is struggling dribbling the ball. He's turned it over twice.
Turned it over, Mansell got it, and then he was whistled for a foul. So Starks picks up his second foul on CSUN. Substitutions, Hampton back for the Beach, Isaiah Washington back. Jaden Jones sits down along with Chance Hunter. So Mansell, Washington on the floor with Roden, Hampton, and Slater. Left side, Slater off to Mansell. Right of center, this is Hampton. About 22 feet out. Hampton, left baseline underneath. Washington scoops it up and pulls up from the short corner.
Yeah, that's a nice shot, and I watched him in warm-ups, and he practiced that shot, so that was not luck.
Long Beach State 13, CSUN 11. CSUN basketball. We near 14 minutes to play in the first half. Left side attacking is Merkvaladze. Strong to the basket. Mansell got a piece of it. Beach the other way. Leading the break is Isaiah Washington. Right corner, here's 3 from Slater. Skips over the rim, but offensive rebound, Roderick Roden. A couple of freshmen battling, Roden and Amon Anderson in an official timeout. I don't want to inflame anything. So the shot clock, there's a shot clock issue. Okereke is going to check back into the ball game for CSUN. Andemanya is going to sit down for the Matadors. 13-11 Long Beach State, 14:03 to play in the first half. And now sideline inbound coming up for R.J. Roden, just to the right of the Matadors bench. We're across from the Matador bench, high atop here at Michelob Ultra Arena, Washington. Right of the lane. Left side Mansell into the paint, spins left over Merkvaladze. Nice little roll as he drops it in.
Yeah, Mansell is not normally that aggressive, but because the Matadors have youngsters inside, they're attacking them.
15-11, the Beach on top of CSUN, and the Matadors turn it over.
Right now, I think Starks is just too pumped. That's 3 turnovers by Starks. That was a very, very bad pass. So Starks just has to relax. He wants to do so much.
TJ, 5 points already, but you mentioned the turnovers. And now Brendan Herrick will check in for Starks, and that's exactly what Coach is telling him. Hey, big fella, calm down a little bit. We'll be okay. Herrick, the sophomore from Anaheim, he'll mark up with R.J. Roden. Washington in front, veering to the right, working against Brown. Sends it left of the arc is Mansell across the paint to Hampton. Nice job by Okereke, flushing him out. Left side on the corner goes to Slater, off to Hampton attacking, and the ball is deflected by Herrick. Matadors basketball. CSUN has it, they're down 4. Left of center, catch and shoot 3. Merkvaladze off the pass from Brown, no. Karam's off the rim. Long pass for Washington to a streaking Hampton. Nice job by the Matadors to get back. And then Okereke, little love tap, he gets tangled up with Hampton, and the foul on Fidelis.
Right now the Matadors are tight is all I can tell. This is a young group and a veteran group. The 2 veterans aren't really playing the way they're capable of, but they're tight. They're rushing things. They're trying so hard to run offense. Just a little bit tight. I think once they loosen up, though, they'll be fine.
Chance Hunter, Jaden Jones, and Roberts all back for Long Beach State. Hampton and Washington stay on the floor. So the starting 5 back out there for Long Beach State. For the Matadors, it's Herrick, Amon Anderson, Darius Brown II, Merkvaladze, and Okereke. 15-11, Long Beach State leads CSUN. We near 13 minutes to play in the first half. Hampton, left of the lane, attacking against Okereke, spins up the hook shot, can't finish. Defensive rebound, Amon Anderson for CSUN. Anderson whips it ahead, left wing to Herrick. And now back to Merkvaladze in front, waiting for Darius Brown. They're having Washington deny Darius the basketball. So Herrick on the left wing for CSUN, dribbles to the top of the circle. Again, they're still playing the deny game against Darius Brown. Left baseline, Merkvaladze, 1 dribble, kicks it back out right of center. Here's the 3 from Anderson. In and out, hard break. The rebound comes out to Isaiah Washington for Long Beach State. He whips it ahead to the left wing. Catch and shoot 3 by Jaden Jones. Short to the left side, saved in by Jones. Long save out to midcourt, left of center for Chance Hunter. Hunter, 2 dribbles, steps into the 3. 25-footer is good.
Right now, all the hustle plays are going the way of the Beach.
Matadors scoreless for about 3 minutes as we near the 12-minute mark in the first half. 18-11, Long Beach State leads CSUN. Herrick, left wing, Left baseline, ball goes down to Brown. Brown takes the screen, steps back, left wing 3. Back iron comes right to Okereke. Right wing catch and shoot Herrick. Short to the left side, dances around a little bit, and the rebound Jaden Jones for Long Beach State. Beach away with it, under 12 minutes to play. They lead by 7. Right side Washington, bounce pass right baseline Hampton. Hampton to his left on the dribble. Kind of steps back into the lane, can't finish, but offensive rebound. Washington back up and in, and 1. Darius Brown with the foul, and we'll get a break. When Washington comes back, he'll have a chance to give Long Beach State a double-digit lead. 20-11, the Beach leads CSUN. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where they have 64 service bays to fix any problem.
Northridge Toyota, your neighborhood Toyota dealership.
Northridge Toyota is located at 19550 Nordoff and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics. Hey Matadors, the Sundial is here to keep you connected to all things CSUN. As the student-run campus news outlet, we aim to be the voice of you, the CSUN community. The Sundial publishes fresh content online daily and timeless, community-focused stories in print every Wednesday. Check us out on the web at dailysundial.com or follow us on Twitter at Daily Sundial and on Instagram at The Sundial.
Playing around Big West Basketball Championships here at Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. CSUN trails Long Beach 20-11 with 11:42 to play in the first half. AZ a 3-minute, 46-second scoring drought for CSUN. They're 0 for their last 5, 1 for their last 7. Over about the last 3 minutes, Long Beach State on a 9-0 run.
And the Matadors have had good looks, Ghazal. It's not like their shots have been really contested. The Matadors have run their offense. They're just not making shots. I mean, wide open look at a 3 for Herrick. A beautiful straightaway wide open 3 for Anderson, not able to hit. So the Matadors right now, offensively, they're running their offense. They're getting what they want, but they're not able to make shots. Conversely, on the defensive side, they're just not getting any of the 50-50 balls. All the 50-50 balls are going the way of the Beach, and they've got 7 second chance points. The Matadors don't have any. Matadors, as we mentioned, one of the things they had to do was be physical rebounders, and right now they're being out-rebounded 11-7.
Isaiah Washington goes to the free throw line, 79% shooter on the year, 80% in Big West play, but he's also among a number of famous Washingtons. Of course, you remember Dwayne the Pearl Washington from Syracuse back in the mid-'80s. Of course, the great Denzel Washington, he of Soldier Story, Training Day, Malcolm X, Philadelphia fame. From the Sweat Hogs of Welcome Back Kotter, Freddie Boom Boom Washington, who on the show was kind of a big basketball star. Baseball just passed away too, a baseball star, Claudell Washington. And of course, you're a football guy, so I got to throw you a little cake. Long Beach State alum, Gene Washington.
Oh, okay.
That's your era, right?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I thought Gene Washington went to Stanford.
But Long Beach Poly, and then he went to Stanford for Long Beach Poly.
Okay.
Was he teammates with your guy?
No, he was ahead of him.
Okay. Washington to the free throw line, and the and one short off the front rim. Defensive rebound, Merk Veladze for CSUN. 20 for Long Beach State, 11 for CSUN. Darius Brown, right to left for the Matadors. Right wing on the far side being played hard by Washington. Starks back in, top of the circle, a little bit of a head fake. Right of the lane, here's a 15-footer. Back iron, bounds out. Long rebound comes back to Isaiah Washington for Long Beach State. He weaves all the way to the free throw line and then turns it over, but a whistle. Let's see if it was a foul before the turnover.
I think it was. Yeah, I think he was hit from behind. You know, TJ Starks took a nice shot, but I think he was a quick shot. That you've got to be very, very careful and not allow this deficit to make you think you've got to rush your shots.
So Darius picked up his second. That's the 15th foul in the Matadors. So now Darius has got to sit down. Amon Anderson comes back in off the bench, and I believe, Alan, the Matadors go to a zone here.
Yep, they're going to go to a 2-3 to try to protect themselves.
High post, 15-footer, just left of the lane by Hampton. comes off the rebound, and Starks picks it up right to left for the Matadors. Poked away from behind by Roberts, stays with CSUN.
Starks is really struggling with the dribble, Ghazal. I mean, I could see that coming all the way. Fortunately for the Matadors, it went out of bounds. But he had no idea where the man behind him was.
I wondered, and I talked to Mark Gottfried about it if you listen to the pregame, if the Matadors would have an advantage having played out here in November. And right now, Long Beach State looks like the more well-oiled team. Foul line extended, 15-footer back iron by TJ Starks. Okereke battling for it with Hampton, and a whistle and a foul. They're both 24, so it'll be interesting to see what Frank Harvey has to say.
I'm a bit concerned, though, without having Brown in the ball game, will the Matadors run their offense, or will they just kind of all want to have Starks bail them out? Because you've got 3 freshmen on the floor, and sometimes those young guys will just look to TJ.
Under 11 minutes to play in the first half. Long Beach State 20, CSUN 11. The foul instead was on Jaden Jones, the 6'5" freshman from St. Anthony High in Long Beach. His dad was a pretty good player in the Big West. Derek Jones played at Cal State Fullerton back in the 80s, back when Cedric Ceballos played for the Titans. Left wing, Mon Anderson hands the ball to Starks. Starks to his right on the dribble, all the way down the lane. The fall away, kind of swings it back out for Anderson, front court left. 5 on the shot clock, middle post, left side. Here's Merk Veladze. The post move is denied at the rim. Pushing left to right. This is Isaiah Washington for Long Beach. Leaves deep NBA 3 for Chance Hunter. Too strong off the back iron. Long rebound picked up off the floor by Merk Veladze, and then Hunter climbs his back and fouls him.
Yeah, they're letting a lot of contact go, because I thought Merk Veladze had a ton of contact on that layup attempt, but the officials are letting it go.
So Hunter now picks up his second, the 4th foul on Long Beach State. So now Dan Munson has a decision to make, and you'll see Colin Slater check back in. So Hunter sits down. It's Washington, Slater, Jones. Hampton on the floor for Long Beach State along with Jordan Roberts. Undamanya back in for CSUN, so it's Starks, Anderson, Herrick, Undamanya, Merk Veladze for CSUN. Right wing Starks for the Matadors, who trail by 9. Left wing, this is Herrick, lobs it inside left baseline. Merk Veladze against Jones, 2 freshmen battling. To his right, Alex strong to the basket. The short runner is short, gets his own offensive rebound, fighting it up, can't finish. A lot of contact down inside. The rebound plucked away by Washington, ahead to Jordan Roberts for Long Beach State. The beach left to right. Roberts accelerates to the lane, steps in, and Festus Undamanya standing right in front of the parabola, absorbs the contact. Frank Harvey says, offensive foul.
That was absolutely perfect defense by Festus. Offensively, the Matadors right now just struggling. No shots are going for them. Even the shots around the basket aren't going, and TJ Starks' jumpers aren't going either.
Well, hey, Mark Gottfried observed exactly what you did, because with under 10 minutes to play in the first half, here comes Darius Brown back with 2 fouls to run the offense. Right wing Anderson for CSUN. Matadors down 20-11. High post left side Herrick hands it left wing to Starks. TJ working against Washington. TJ, here's the step back 17-footer, short off to the left side. Defensive rebound to Washington for the Beach. Long Beach State left to right, and a carry. Nice job by Starks, kind of presenting himself in front of Washington. He hesitated and carried the ball.
You know, TJ is really taking some bad shots, Ghazal, and Coach Godfrey just said, hey, move the ball, and TJ is kind of like looking at his hands and said, these are shots I can make, Coach, but no, you're making it easy for the defense.
Matador scoring drought now at 6:27. It's 20-11, and whistles.
They're fortunate to only be down 9. I mean, a couple of shots here and there, and they're right back in it, but they've got to run the offense. Right now, TJ Starks is really, maybe because he's first team all conference averaging 21.5 points a game, that he feels like he has to do it all.
Romel Mansell back, the 6'9 sophomore from St. Bernard High, replacing Joe Hampton, who's played well. Now, Hampton had those 6 points early. He hasn't scored since, Allen. Made his first 3 shots. He's 0-4 since. Starks off the inbound underneath, trying the extra pass, but turns it over. Here's Washington for the Beach. Ahead to Jones. Jones lays it up and in transition.
Yeah, that was a tough pass that Starks tried to get to Herrick.
22-11. Matadors' scoreless string now extends. They're 0 of their last 11 from the floor. They're over 6 minutes without a point. Starks right side of the lane. 15 feet out, free throw line for Undamanya. Festus to the bucket, can't finish. Gets his own rebound, though, underneath. Trying to go through 3 guys. Up strong right hand, no. But a foul and Festus to the free throw line.
Well, it seems like the last time the Matadors scored, I thought it was Festus at the free throw line. I'm glad the fact that they're sharing the ball a little bit more, but I think TJ Starks, he's got so much on his mind. You could tell that he's really trying too hard. He's not letting anything come to him.
Their last score, Allen, at 15-26, it was a TJ Starks jumper to make it 11-11. So an 11-0 run for Long Beach State. Here's Andamania, who made both his free throws the first time he was to the line, and now make it 3 of 3 for the big fella.
Well, it's good to see that the Matadors can got off that scoring drought.
Mark Godfrey kind of having a conversation with TJ Starks. Hey, son, let it come to you. Slow things down. And 2 for 2 for Festus. Andamania waving to his high school teammate Jeff Yang on the bench for Long Beach State. Here's Slater. Front court right on the near side, playing catch with Jordan Roberts. Right side, Slater. Right wing, here's Washington for Long Beach State. Slater thought about a deep NBA 3, but he goes around Starks, leaves for Mansell. A piece of it on the way up by Andamania, got more arm than ball, and a foul called by Frank Harvey.
Yeah, that was an excellent way to break the zone. You have to penetrate in the zone, and once the zone is penetrated, people collapse, and then you're able to just dish it off to a big for a layup attempt.
You call it attacking the seam. You find the seam in the zone, and you hope they collapse to you so somebody's open. You make a pass. Mansell to the free throw line, and the first one goes through Swish. Remember, not a great free throw shooter. Also played volleyball in high school at St. Bernard. Committed in 2018 to Long Beach State. Second free throw coming for the big fella. And he made them both, and the lead back to 11 for Long Beach State. Long Beach State 24, CSUN 13. Under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Angle right on the far side. Here's Starks. TJ on the dribble, working against Roberts. Here's the screen from Andamania. Starks to his left. Left corner, catch and shoot 3 from Anderson. Rattles the iron, no. Defensive rebound comes down to Jordan Roberts for Long Beach State.
Yeah, the Matadors are actually getting great looks. They're just not hitting shots.
Roberts, extra pass underneath to Mansell. Good passing there by Long Beach State. Deflected by Herrick, but Mansell comes up with it off to Slater. Right corner, faking the 3 is Roberts. Left-handed dribble into the lane, trying to draw the charge, and he does the charge. Festus Andamania.
Festus does a really good job of getting his feet set and then taking the charge right in the chest.
His feet, the funny thing is his feet weren't particularly set, but he was on the right angle, and he was outside the parabola.
Yep.
If Roberts had looked, he would have seen he could have maybe ducked inside, then Festus would have had to move, but good job by Festus.
Matadors just can't make a basket. I mean, Anderson had another good look that he's not able to hit.
CSUN's last made bucket at 15-26. To his right, here's 3 from Darius Brown, off to the right side, no. And the lid on the rim for the Matadors. Up the right sideline, this is Colin Slater for Long Beach State. They're up by 11. Matadors haven't had a basket in nearly 8 minutes. To the basket, laying it up and in, R.J. Roden. Lead out to 13 for the Beach. Here's Starks all the way back the other way. Double clutch, no. Defensive rebound, Colin Slater, and a whistle and a foul.
It's a technical foul on Washington, and he must have said something to TJ Starks.
And then Dan Munson doing his best La Belle and La Bête. Why? No, I'm sorry, that's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Anyway, 7:33 to play in the first half. Matadors down 26-13. We'll step aside here at Michelob Ultra Arena. Big West Conference Championship play-in round. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Smell that? It's playoff season. You know how you can tell? Because the playoffs are on. East will meet West, sevens will be bested, and banners will be lifted. So get in your car, your boat, or your train and get to B-Dubs. To celebrate this special time of the year, curl up with some wings, warm up by the TV with your closest savages, and order a frosty beer just like Mom used to pour. Merry playoffs, everyone. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
Long Beach State 26, CSUN 13, 7:33 to play in the first half. I'm Alan. He's Alan. I'm not Alan. And this is something that we discussed, this is a good game. Now listen, the Matadors are behind and it's not looking good, but you got plenty of time. You got 27 more minutes of basketball, and you'd much rather have this happen today than potentially on Thursday, because then you're just done.
Well, you're talking about if the Matadors were to win today, right? If
right.
They come back, yeah. I think right now for the Matadors is TJ Starks and Darius Brown have to settle the team down, and they've got to initially get going. They've got to make some shots. And TJ just has to take the shots that are there in the offense. He's really forcing things. Even that last drive attempt, he forced it, and what happened was he missed it. And I'm sure Washington probably called him something like, yeah, just keep shooting those bad shots or whatever. And the officials gave him a tech.
Now, Dan Munson got visibly upset at the tech. And I don't know, now obviously no coach wants their player to get a tech, but I'm wondering if his reaction wasn't exacerbated by the fact that he had to dismiss Michael Carter III from the team last week. And that obviously had nothing to do with his on-field performance.
No, I just think it's the fact that, look, we're up 13, we've got the ball, we had him take a bad shot, and now you give him a chance to get 2 points at the free throw line and see the ball go through the hoop, and he's not shooting well. So if he's able to make a couple free throws, Matadors can get to within 11, and then the ball is, Starks feels better about shooting the ball.
CSUN has missed 15 straight shots. They're one of their last 17 is TJ. Comley sinks the first one. No field goals for the Matadors in nearly 8 minutes, 7:53 to be exact. They've hit 3, now make it 4 free throws over that period of time, and they're still in the game. They're only down by 11. You get a stop in a three-point basket, all of a sudden you're back to single digits, Alan.
And I think that free throw make by Starks is going to help him, because sometimes you just need to see the ball go through the hoop.
Starks, Brown, Anderson, Okereke, Herrick on the floor for CSUN. This is Colin Slater off to Roderick Roden. Right of center, here's 3 from Jaden Jones, and down it goes.
Well, that's a nice left-handed 3, and the Matadors went to a 1-2-2 to try to just disrupt the offense of the Beach, but it didn't.
3 of 3 from their last 3 from the floor is Long Beach State. They're up by 14. Starks, angle right on the far side, pitches it in front to Darius Brown for CSUN. Brown with a ball fake into the lane, rises up from about 14, and there it goes, and 1. So the Matadors, awake from their slumber, more than 8 minutes without a bucket, 8:26, Darius 2 and 1, and he's the leader. A big play there by Darius Brown II.
As I mentioned, it's going to have to be Darius Brown and Starks who are going to have to get them going offensively. Then the other guys will follow. Starks right now is just over-dribbling. He's not been comfortable with his dribble at all.
The and 1 for Darius, and wow, short, and he's trying. I didn't want to mention his free throw struggles. I believe that's 5 in a row that he's missed. 29-17, the Beach by 12, under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Left side, Justin Rene pitches it back right of center to Colin Slater. Rene, his first appearance. He's a kid out of Long Beach Poly. To his left on the dribble is R.J. Roden. He turns it over. Brown off to TJ. Starks into the lane to the basket, left hand, and he can't finish off the window. Defensive rebound, Justin Rene for Long Beach State. Here's Slater up the left side. Got to watch both Slater and Rene. They have those long locks. Lob it inside. Mansell rotates it to the right corner. Rene fakes the 3. Drops it down underneath. Roderick is denied by Okereke. Back out on the left side to Rene. Attacking the rim against Okereke. Again, off the window, good. 2 opportunities, second chance opportunities for the Beach. 31-17.
And Rene is not a player who scores, so that really hurts.
2-touchdown lead for Long Beach State, and Herrick turns it over for CSUN. The Matadors look like they're completely out of sorts, Alan.
They are out of sorts, Gazal, and Herrick has not been himself about the last 5 games. He's not confident in his shot. He's not confident handling the ball, and the Matadors need Herrick. He is their comforter. He's the one that never hurts them and always helps them, but he has just really been struggling lately.
So Isaiah Washington pulled after the tee, replaced by Justin Rene, and he pays immediate dividends for Dan Munson. Slater advances the ball across that midcourt logo for Long Beach State. Angle right on the near side. Here's Jaden Jones about 28 feet out. Between the circles, R.J. Roden. Left side, quick touch for Rene. Left corner, the ball goes down to Slater. Corner 3 for Jaden Jones, and it's money.
Well, the Matadors are getting torched right now, and they are really down by 17. And this is not a team you want to give life to because they've been struggling, and they're front runners, and the Matadors are in so much trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
We near 5 minutes to play in the first half. CSUN basketball. Anderson to the free throw line. Left side Starks, a little shimmy move to his right. There's three, too strong off the back iron. Hampton with the offensive rebound, but knocked away from Okereke. Brown, right wing three for Herrick, too strong off the back iron. Left side faking the three to his right. There's three from Starks, and that finally goes.
They desperately needed that. Now it's about stops. The Matadors, Gazal, they just really are not playing the way they're capable of playing. They're not sharing the ball the right way. Defensively in the zone, they're allowing passes just to get wherever they want to go.
Long Beach State three out of the right corner for Jaden Jones, and the defensive rebound to Herrick. Beach 34, CSUN 20, CSUN basketball. Right side Starks all the way down, and an offensive foul.
Once again, Starks over dribbling. He's trying so hard. He's just trying to do too much.
So 4:46 to play in the first half. Second personal on Starks, 7th team foul on CSUN, and they trail by 14. They just gotten a great stop, and they didn't even get an opportunity to put the ball to the rim.
And TJ Starks, his head is down. He walks slowly back to his defensive positioning. If the Matadors can get under double digits before halftime, I think they'll feel good about themselves. But this Long Beach State team is a front-running team, and they can get going. We talked about their athletes, great athletes, and they can shoot it.
Here's Slater, who sat out part of the season due to COVID protocol. Right wing Renee, flashing right of the lane is Roberts. He's the veteran for the Beach. Renee on the right side on a whistle and an offensive foul.
Well, Hampton must have been inside trying to muck it up a little bit, and he got a little handsy.
So Hampton. Now see, the PA guy got it wrong. It's actually on Hampton, not on Okereke. Nope, it's the 10th foul, and the 30. It's on. They both wear 24, and the PA announcer got it wrong. So Atten Wright checks in for the Matadors. Wright, Brown on the floor with TJ Starks, Fidelis Okereke, and Alex Merkvaladze back in. Right wing, here's Atten, the freshman, for CSUN, and a whistle underneath. Darius Brown and Justin Renee run into each other. They're going to get Renee, and free throws coming up for DB2.
He's going to make these, Gazal. I mean, I think he's seen enough of the free throws to know that, okay, I know what to do to make them.
He was 10 of 11 on the 27th of February against Bakersfield, and then went 0 for 4 on Saturday against UCR and missed his first free throw today. And now he makes that one, and he'll get a bonus, and the Matadors to within 13. Long Beach State 34, CSUN 21, 4:24 to play here in the first half. First round, Big West Basketball Championship from Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, and the second free throw goes, and the lead down to 12. Matadors got some work to do. Slater left side, just above that 28-foot hash mark. To his right on the dribble, right of center, Jaden Jones. Returns the ball. Slater, deep NBA three. Top of the circle, and it buries it.
You know what? That's a good shot. That's a tough shot. But the Matadors will live with a guy taking that tough a shot.
Starks through traffic, no. Defensive rebound comes down to Colin Slater for Long Beach State. CSUN down 37-22. Mansell into the lane, right corner, Renee. Free throw line, extra pass, Roberts to Mansell on the right baseline. Back out to Renee. They'll reset between the circles. Another deep NBA three for Slater, and that goes down.
Now he's proven that he can do it. You better get out and guard him. Matadors down 18.
40-22. Mark Gottfried will call timeout with 3:43 to play. An 18-point lead for the Beach with 3:43 to play in the first half. We'll step aside and come right back. Matadors basketball, CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
CSUN Matadors Athletics would like to thank Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute for their continued support. The LA Orthopedic Institute is one of California's most respected sports medicine practices with a philosophy rooted in faster rehabilitation and recovery. The LA Orthopedic Institute has offices in Sherman Oaks and Palmdale. For more information, go to laortho.org.
Huss and Alan Zinsmeister back with you. Michelob Ultra Arena Big West Basketball Championships here in 2021, 8-9 game. The ninth-seeded Long Beach State, 40, CSUN 22, and I'm going to point out a number to you, AZ. Long Beach State, 6 of 13 from beyond the arc. The Matadors, 5 of 28 from the floor. They've made 5 field goals in the game. Long Beach State has 6 3-point field goals in the game. You never want to be in that situation.
Well, the fact that they've given Long Beach State 40 points, and Long Beach State gives up 79 points a game. So the Matadors are just missing shots. It's not the great defense of the Beach, but the Matadors just can't make shots. They're turning the ball over, and bless his heart, but TJ Starks is trying so hard that he's actually hurting the team. He's forced some layups, and the officials won't bail you out once they realize you're just trying to go in and create all the contact. They're not going to bail you out. You have to run the offense. Darius Brown is trying, but the man that he normally would go to is Starks, and if you give the ball to Starks, it's not been coming back. And then the youngsters are not hitting shots now. I mean, Amon Anderson can't make a shot. You know, your veteran can't make a shot in Brendan Herrick. So you have a lot of misses and a lot of deep threes being made by Long Beach State because they are a front-running team. If they get up, they feel good and their athleticism takes over. And as we mentioned, they're fantastic athletes.
Darius Brown, TJ Starks on the floor, Atten Wright, Fidelis Okereke, Alex Merkvaladze for the Beach. Coming out, Colin Slater, Justin Renee, Jaden Jones, Jordan Roberts, and Romel Mansell. We have not seen Isaiah Washington on the floor since he got the tech.
Why put him back in? You know, this is a lesson for Isaiah. They've extended the lead, so Coach Munson did the right thing. There's no need to put him back in. Let him sit, and then he'll start in the second half. The Matadors must get this deficit at least to 12 if they can in the next 3:43. They're down 18. You want to, outscore them 5 to 6 points if you can.
Brown right to left off the inbound from Merkvaladze. Left wing on the near side. This is Atten Wright for CSUN. Free throw line. Okereke, one dribble to his right, now terminates his dribble looking for help. Middle post right side. Here's Merkvaladze backing down to the basket, and he can't finish. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in, can't finish. Okereke with a hand on it. Karam's out to Jaden Jones, and a foul on Fidelis.
Well, that is it in a nutshell, Gazal. I mean, Merkvaladze had 2 absolute bunnies. I mean, total bunnies. And he was not able to hit either one of them. So it's one of those. Poor Coach Gottfried. I know he's thinking to himself, I know this team is so much better, and they can't buy a bucket. They can't buy a layup.
Okereke picks up his 3rd foul. Festus back for the Matadors. Merkvaladze 0 for 7. The Matadors overall, Allen 5 for 30. 1-1 on the other end for Jadon Jones.
And that was a chance for the Matadors, to get it to 16. Now they could be down 20. So you want to talk about a 4-point swing if free throws go.
Jones, right-handed free throw is good. He'll get a bonus. 75% free throw shooter on the year, 9 of 12. Big West play was 9 of 10. So pretty good shooter. Second free throw. Yes, got them both. 20-point lead for Long Beach State, 42-22. CSUN basketball as we near 3 minutes to play in the first half. Basketball is a game of runs, and man, do the Matadors need one. Starks catch and shoot 3, and he went up and down. Went up to try to shoot it and then tried to pass it on the way down. And, man, TJ, I saw TJ at the hotel. He looked locked in and focused. And
he is.
I don't know what's happened here.
He's trying too hard is all. He is. He knows how important this is, and he thinks he has to carry the team, and he doesn't. He just has to do his role. The Matadors are in very, very deep trouble, down 20, and they have no offensive rhythm, and you're just giving Long Beach life. And they don't even have Washington on the floor.
Middle post to his left. Back to the right side, Slater launches the 3. Rides the iron, no. Tipped up, Mansell comes down with it. Here's the putback, he can't finish. Merkvaladze tips the rebound to himself on the defensive side. Here's Ratton right up the right side. Let's see if he can get hot. Here's a screen from Merkvaladze off to Darius Brown, the second for CSUN. They trail 42-22. Left wing inside the arc is Starks, facing up Renee. Here's the mid-range, 17-footer is good.
Well, that time Renee just not long enough to disturb Starks, and Starks took a very comfortable 17-footer.
42-24, Long Beach State by 18. Slater on the baseline. Off to Roberts. Extra pass to Mansell, who flushes it down.
Well, right now the Matadors aren't playing any defense. That was just atrocious.
44-24, Long Beach State by 20. Left side, Brown on the wing. Now he dribbles to the free throw line, does Darius. 15-footer is wide open. He'll go left wing for Merkvaladze. Tries the three, no. He's now over 8 from the floor. Jadon Jones with the defensive rebound for the Beach. Off to Slater, back to Jones. Left of center, here's the 19-footer. Off the rim, no. Defensive rebound, Merkvaladze for CSUN. Starks ahead right to left for CSUN, who trail by 20. 44-24. Right side, Starks all the way down. Reverse layup right to left is good.
Yeah, that was 1-on-5, but Starks needed that. He needed to see the ball go through the hoop.
So TJ now with 12. Matadors down 18. 94 ticks left as Slater will come into the forecourt and timeout Long Beach State with 1 minute and 32 seconds to play here in the first half. The team's up 18.
The game's not over, but I know Long Beach State can see the game over in sight. For the Matadors, they're going to have to shake this. Right now, they're just going to have to shake all the bad vibes that they have within them. You can look at their body language and tell that they can't believe that they're in this position. But they're in this position because they were missing shots and then taking bad shots and then not getting back on defense and making fouls. And so all the things that you can't do, especially in a tournament game, they've been doing. And it's really sad because we know this team is so much better than what they're displaying right now.
Both teams have taken 33 shots. The Matadors have made 7. Long Beach State has made 16. Moments ago, the last bucket by the Matadors by Starks. Now they have one more bucket than Long Beach State has 3-point makes. Long Beach State 6 of 14 from 3. The Matadors 7 of 33 from the field. And that's an anomaly, Alan.
Yes.
That's nothing strategic.
No.
That's nothing coaching-wise.
Nope.
That's just people are missing shots.
Yep. And they're missing layups. They're missing open three. They're just right. They're just missing shots. And that's the wrong time to do it.
Yep. 44-26. It's like Tessio making the deal with Barzini at the end of Godfather. Just wrong time to make a bad decision. Front court left on the far side. This is Slater for Long Beach State. Launches the deep NBA 3. Short to the left side. Trevor Irish into the ball game. Back out to Jones, who will launch 3. That rides the iron, no. And a whistle and a foul underneath. I believe they caught Jordan Roberts.
Well, the Matadors can't secure a defensive board, and that's hurting them. So right now, can't secure a defensive board, and they've got two good-sized guys in there, and Merkvaladze and Festus, but not able to secure it.
Wasn't on Roberts. It actually was on Merkvaladze, and Roberts will shoot the free throws. Jordan Roberts, the veteran for Long Beach State, misses the front end, and the defensive rebound on Demania for CSUN. 44-26, Long Beach State on top, and the Matadors turn it over. Darius Brown, a long pass ahead to Anderson, can't handle it, out of bounds, over to Long Beach State.
And the pass was perfect, Gasol. The pass was right there, right in his hands. He was looking to at the rim before he caught it, because the pass was right there.
Long Beach State 44, CSUN 26, the Beach with the basketball. Here's Slater up the right side. Isaiah Washington has not re-entered the game since picking up a technical about midway through this first half. Lob inside, good front by Festus Demania, tips the entry pass away. Here's Brown the other way. Left corner to right for CSUN. CSUN basketball, they're down 18. Top of the circle, 3 by Merkvaladze, in and out, no. Tipped up by Roderick to Trevor Irish, the 7'1" junior out of Lewiston, Maine, and it's Beach basketball. They can pretty much, well, I guess there's about 10-second differential. So they'll run it down as far as they can, up 18 against the Matadors. Here's Colin Slater, near midcourt, working against Brown. 10-second or so differential between shot and game clock. Slater into the lane. Underneath for Irish, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, that time Festus lost his contact with his man.
Back to a 20-point lead for the Beach. Matadors with the ball, 5 seconds to play. Here's Brown to the right, off the screen from Merkvaladze. He'll launch the 3. It'll circle the rim and bounce out. And probably the worst half the Matadors could have imagined occurs here in the first half. 46-26. They're down by 20 going into the locker room against Long Beach State. Thoughts, Alan Zinsmeister?
You said it. This is the worst half the Matadors have played, just in regards to shooting. And we didn't expect it, Gasol. I mean, I know that folks have seen Long Beach State and think that they aren't very good because they've lost 4 in a row. But Long Beach State has players. And the Matadors don't have the depth of players that Long Beach State has. But the Matadors have been running their offense, and they've been playing solid defense and making shots. But right now, they just aren't able to make shots.
I mean, right now the Matadors 7 of 35 from the floor. If they're at 14 of 35, which is right around their season average, it's a very different game, but it's not. 7 of 35, Merkveladze 0 for 9, Darius 1 for 6. Even TJ, he's got 14, he's 5 of 13 from the floor. They'll have to figure something out in the second half. So, hey, you're down 20, but the good news is you have 20 minutes of basketball to play, and you have time to figure something out. 46-26 the score at the half here from Michelob Ultra Arena, Big West Basketball Championships 2021. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
It's game time, Matador fans, and at Northridge Toyota, it's game on. With over 700 new, certified, and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, they're sure to have one that's just right for you. Come in and see why Northridge Toyota is the fastest growing Toyota dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care. Located on Nordoff across the street from the Northridge Mall, and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Go Matadors!
It's not just a haircut, it's an authentic experience with True Barbershop. Book your appointment now at TrueBarbershopInc.com. True Barbershop is committed to serving the community and have partnered with the Matadors to unite the Valley one haircut at a time. With a team of 8 professional and qualified licensed barbers, True Barbershop can service all ages from kids to seniors to retired and military. True Barbershop is located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard in Northridge and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics.
Located at 19550 Nordoff, just across the street from the Northridge Mall, Northridge Toyota is the fastest growing dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care, proud supporters of CSUN Athletics, and they'll present you Matadors halftime here. We'll start with the stat report from Buffalo Wild Wings, located at 9301 Tampa Boulevard in Northridge. Save time by ordering takeout on the website from their to-go favorites menu. The 20/20 and 15/15 wing combos are still available for a limited time. And we'll jump right to Long Beach State. The Beach in the first half, 17 of 35, 49%. 6 of 15 from beyond the arc, 40%. 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 75%. 29 rebounds, 9 assists to 9 turnovers in the first half for Long Beach State AZ. RJ Roden, 2 points in his 9 minutes to go with 4 rebounds. Jordan Roberts, 13 minutes in the first half, only took 1 free throw and missed it, but got 3 rebounds and an assist. Jadon Jones in 18 minutes, 10 points, the leading scorer for Long Beach State. 3 of 7 from the floor, a couple of 3-pointers and 5 rebounds as well. Colin Slater, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in his 14 minutes. Had 2 big threes to really stretch the game out for Long Beach State. Trevor Irish with a bucket late. Justin Renee, the Long Beach Poly product, gets into the play. 4 minutes, 2 points for him. Isaiah Washington had 4 points and 8 rebounds and 3 assists in 12 minutes, but got a technical, and Dan Munson pulled him off the floor, and he hasn't been back in since. Romel Mansell having a great game for him, 8 points in just 10 minutes. Joe Hampton started off hot and then cooled off, 6 points in 10 minutes for him. And Chance Hunter, who we haven't seen in a long time either, 8 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, 6 points in 8 minutes, 2 of 4 from the floor, both from the 3-point arc.
Probably the smartest thing Coach Munson did was to sit Washington. It sent a message to the team that if you're out here and you're just thinking about yourself, saying things and hurting the team, you're going to sit. And that got his team fired up, Gasol. And look, when you can get 2 points from Renee, he gets a chance to come in the game. He didn't do anything to hurt the team. He didn't basically turn the ball over. He was able to get an assist. That's a huge plus. And now you've got a 20-point lead, and your starting point guard can either sit at the start of the first half, or he learned his lesson and will come out and be so much better.
Matador's numbers: Festus Andemania, 4 points and 3 rebounds in 9 minutes. All 4 of his points from the free throw line. 5 minutes for Aden Wright, didn't take a shot, did not score. 19 minutes for Darius Brown II. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist for Darius. Just 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. Amon Anderson, 2 points in his 17 minutes from the free throw line. And Alex Merkveladze, this is the biggest one for the Matadors. 15 minutes for Alex. He's got 7 rebounds, but 0 of 9 from the floor. and they're all shots he normally makes. I mean, he probably, in a normal situation, would be 6 or 7 of 9. He would have made at least one of his threes, and it would be a totally different situation. But there is a lid on that basket for the Matadors.
It's a lid on the basket, and I talked with Coach Gottfried about starting 3 freshmen and the intensity that goes along with this type of game. And right now, if you look at those 3 freshmen, only one of them has been able to make a bucket. So it matters. These games matter with young players, and as much as you'd like to think their enthusiasm and their talent will carry them, when you're going up against a veteran team who's desperate to get a win, and they probably were looking at the Matadors and saying, look, they got one guy that we have to really worry about. That Starks. Everybody else is a role player. Let's have this one guy under control, and we'll be fine. And Starks helped them out.
Okereke, 2 points, 2 rebounds in 11 minutes. Herrick, 9 minutes, did not score. 2 shots that he could easily have made, that he missed them both. Starks with 14 points in his 16 minutes, 5 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, has 2 rebounds, but 5 turnovers. And I'm going to give you, beyond the shooting, here's the stat that illustrates what happened in the first half to the Matadors. 2 assists to 8 turnovers. And that you can't do that. They're not running their offense. And part of that is because shots have been missed, but to get going, it's not enough to just get TJ going. You got to get everybody going and run your offense.
I sound like maybe I knew what I was talking about when we talked about the keys. I said you have to share the ball. You have to trust the offense. And the Matadors, 5 turnovers by Starks, and they weren't turnovers trying to pass the ball to folks except for one, and it was a bad pass. He's just playing like a person who feels like he's got to carry the load, and he does not. And that's what happens sometimes when you don't really have the kind of genuine trust of your youngsters that you need to have. You got to let them miss shots while you're giving them the ball, as opposed to you taking a bunch of shots, and now they feel they've got to jack up something, and now their confidence is shot.
It's 46-26. Matadors trail by 20. We're at the half here. Matadors halftime presented to you by Northridge Toyota. We'll move now to the out-of-town scoreboard. True Barbershop is located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard and at truebarbershopping.com. Still accepting appointments through their website. They're owned and operated by Matador alumni and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Thanks to Daniel and David. They always help us out. They've cut your hair. They cut Devontae's hair. They're just great guys running that establishment right down the street from campus. Really not much to report on the out-of-town scoreboard, as there's only one other game today. It'll be Cal Poly and Cal State Fullerton later today here in this same arena for the Big West. And let's run down some of the Division I action that we've seen earlier today. Our good friend Rocket Henderson, his team yesterday won. Ryder knocked off Kenesha 78-76. It was a buzzer beater at the end there. From the MAC championship first round, Iona 72, Quinnipiac 48. Iona, of course, was Isaiah Washington's old team last year. From the first round of the Southland tournament, McNeese State, Southeast Louisiana, tied at 31 at the half. Earlier today, New York Life ACC tournament, the University of Miami, the U, 79-73 over Pitt in the first round of that one. Another final from the ACC, Duke 86, BC 51, and those are the only games going right now currently in tournament play. So March Madness is supposed to be a fun time, Alan. Hasn't been so much fun for the Matadors here in this first half.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words because this is not the team we've seen all season long. I mean, look, it's one thing not to be able to make shots, but then you still have to guard. They've given up 46 points to the Beach. Now, the Beach allows 79 points a game. So the Matadors are getting shots. I mean, the Matadors are just missing shots. When you're shooting 19%, I don't know what to say other than you're either nervous or you're just trying too hard. But to give up 46 points, there's no excuse for that. I mean, you would only be down 10 points if you only gave up 36, which would be about what you give up on average, about 75 points a game, 76 points to other teams. This is just not good defense either.
I mean, listen, if I'm Mark Godfrey, I'd say, hey, guys, they outscored us by 20. We got outscored by 21. It's that simple. What do you want to do? Come with me. Come be with me. Let's run our offense. Let's get going. Let's flush the first half. We got to win the second half by 21 points.
Yeah, I mean, of course that's what he has to say. But now in each player's heart, do you believe it? So the next question after he says is who believes that? Who believes we can do that? Who trusts in their teammate? Who trusts in the coaches? Who trusts in our ability to guard? If you believe that and if you trust that, we can erase this 20-point deficit and come back and win. We do it 4 minutes at a time. That's how we do it. We don't have to bite the whole elephant and take the whole elephant down in one bite. 4-minute clips, we win 3, 4, 8 points per clip. But we have to win each 4 minutes. But you have to believe.
Yeah, they need to get one big run. They need to clip it down a little bit, and you get a big run of 9 or 10 points, and then all of a sudden it's a game again. 46-26, Long Beach State leads CSUN. We're at halftime. Big West Basketball Championships, the play-in game, 8 versus 9. Here, Matadors Basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center. Game day sponsor today, our good friends at Dignity Health, and we want to thank them for being with us all the year and being the main sponsor for our broadcast on both Big West TV and then our audio portion as well. We'll step aside and come back with more on Matadors Halftime, presented to you by Northridge Toyota. Alan and I are back after this. 46-26, Matadors down to the beach, but 20 minutes of basketball left. We're back. Matadors Basketball, CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
What happened to us? We used to gather in proud arenas. Now we're watching March Madness while stuck in work holes.
Loser.
Jerk. Or shoved in man caves. We've been left alone with a DVR replay while trying not to wake the baby. Enough! Let's make our Fancestors proud and follow the tribe to B-dubs so we can fill our beers, crush all the wings, and pound every single game. You want madness? That's March Madness. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
Halftime here at Michelob Ultra Arena. Gazelle Hassan Allen Zinsmeister back with you. Matadors Basketball, CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center. Big West Basketball Championships. Matadors down big, 46-26 at the half. They're down 20 with 20 minutes to go. Try to get back into this one. But before we bring the second half to you, I want to just, me and Alan together, want to thank several people. And we always do this, but there's a lot of people that need to make this thing go. And particularly it's the ops people and the managers for the Matadors basketball team. John Van Houten and Tyson Kygar kind of run that operations department, and they always take care of us. So I want to make sure, I mentioned them before every game, but I don't think people really realize how important they are. And then, our guy Devontae Morris, who always gets us fed on the road. He's one of the lead student managers on this managerial staff. Daniel Purple Hayes, the GA. He's a new guy. He's an Eastern Washington guy, but he's down in Southern California learning about basketball. And then, the other managers. We have a new manager, Elena Garcia. She played basketball at Ventura College. She wants to get into coaching, and now she's helping out the team. Andrew Desenarian, another guy, he played at Grant High in the Valley, wants to come in and kind of learn how to coach. Andrew's always great. We saw him earlier this morning. And then Tom, who's another new guy who's come in to the managerial staff. And we've had so many great managers here at CSUN. In fact, Isaac Jacob, who was with us for 4 years under Reggie, he is now on the staff with the Sacramento Kings. So you can start at this level, Alan, and you can advance to a higher level. And they just take care of us all year. So I really want to mention all of them on the air and just understand that it takes a lot of people to make this happen, and they work really hard, and they don't really get much in terms of compensation, but they're doing it for the experience so they can move on and perhaps get jobs in basketball.
Ghazal, as usual, I couldn't say anything else behind that. I couldn't say it better myself, and we're so thankful to them and appreciate them, and they do so much. They don't want anything other than just to be respected, and boy, do we respect them.
Matadors trail this one 46-26. We'll step aside. Thanks for listening. Matadors halftime brought to you by Northridge Toyota. We come back, second half of action. Big West Basketball Championships playing round from the city of Las Vegas. Michelob Ultra Arena at Mandalay Bay. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home.
Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where they have 64 service bays to fix any problem.
Northridge Toyota, your neighborhood Toyota dealership.
Northridge Toyota is located at 19550 Nordoff and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics.
Halftime here at the Big West Basketball Championship in the city of Las Vegas. Second half about ready to get underway. 46-26, the Beach on top of CSUN. And Matadors and the Beach, they go back and forth, Alan. The Matadors in recent years have had better success against the Beach 5 of their last 8. But you remember when you, back in your day, with Bobby Braswell, I remember Josh Green telling us that he'd never beaten the Beach since he'd been here until his senior year.
Yeah, I remember when they won 3 straight conference championships, and they had such a great team. Coach Munson is trying to get them back there again. And right now, this version of the Beach Squad reminds me of those teams that used to put people to sleep early.
The Long Beach State, they've reached the finals in the Big West 12 times. They've won 5 Big West tournaments. The last 2, 2007 under Larry Reynolds, 2012 under Dan Munson. Seth Greenberg took them twice in 1993, 1995, and they went back in 1977 as well, winning the Big West tournament. They've had a couple of at-large bids as well. They've won a Big West tournament. They got a win in out of the last 5 years. They've won 2019, 2017, 2016. Didn't get a win in either 2018 or 2015. And then you mentioned from 2010 to 2014, they got at least one win in this tournament every year. Last time the Matadors won in this tournament, Alan, was back in 2014. Last time before that was 2011. So without Josh Green in the lineup, the last time the Matadors won a tournament game was back when your friend Robert Braswell took them to the NCAA tournament. Underway here in the second half. Washington back out there for Long Beach State. Here's Hunter left of center. Down inside to Hampton. Off the window and one. Foul on Okereke. That's 4 on Fidelis.
And that's just the way they started the ball game, by getting the ball down low to Hampton, and Hampton going up against Okereke, the young freshman. And Hampton, who had a scholarship at Penn State, he's a pretty doggone good player, so he's taking advantage of the youngster.
Enrolled at Penn State but never played. Left-handed free throw is good and one, and they're up by 23, 49-26. Up the left side comes Brown for CSUN. Merk Veladze, quick touch, right wing Anderson. Bounce pass in front, Starks fakes the 3. Roberts out on him. To his right on the dribble, now to his left. Left wing Brown. Left baseline they go one-on-one. Merk Veladze against Hunter has the ball dislodged and a whistle.
I didn't think they were going to call the foul, and he was fouled. Merk Veladze hasn't scored, but I tell you what, He's actually been bodied quite a bit underneath that basket. I thought a couple times he was fouled attempting shots.
So here's, they called it a shooting foul. So 2 shots coming up for young Alex Merk Veladze, who had made a really great progress, and he swishes the first free throw. On the season was 60%, 54% in Big West play. Over his last 7 games, Alan, 14.7 points, 9 rebounds, was shooting 49% from the floor, 17-31 from 3. He made them both. Let's hope it gets him going. 49-28, 21-point lead for the Beach.
Well, so on the defensive end, the Matadors are going to have to get stops, and that's not going to do it.
Washington into the lane. To the right side, here's Hunter to the, Jadon Jones. Left hand lays it up and in.
Well, that's just 2 entries to the inside, 2 scores, and the Matador defense right now is struggling.
Merk Veladze, top of the circle, 3, too strong off the back iron. Defensive rebound, Jones, the run out by Washington. Right side, Hunter. Right corner, Roberts fakes the 3 for the Beach. 51-28, Long Beach State on top of CSUN. Here's Washington in front against Okereke. Isaiah backs off near midcourt, wheels to the right side of that 28-foot hash mark. Crosses over down the right side of the lane, double clutch, reverse layup right to left off the underside of the backboard. The caroms out to Merk Veladze. Starks racing up the floor. Starks to the free throw line, leaves for Anderson. Anderson fumbles it away. Right wing, this is Starks to his left. Switches hands, lays up and in with the left hand.
Anderson is nervous. He's not ready to catch the ball. He had a pass thrown to him by Starks that he fumbled, and he did the same thing when Darius threw him one.
Long Beach State 51, CSUN 30, Beach basketball. Right side Washington. Free throw line now. Left of center, here's Hunter. Chance Hunter puts one dribble on the floor and terminates. Jadon Jones right of center for the Beach. To the right wing, top of the circle, wide open three for Jordan Roberts, and that splashes down.
Nothing going right for the Matadors. I talked about they had to win the first 4 minutes, and right now they're not going to be able to win the first 4 minutes.
Call it a long two, 53-30, and now Brown turns it over against Jadon Jones. Washington, long pass ahead to the right wing to Hunter, catch and shoot three. Skips over the rim, defensive rebound Okereke, and a whistle on the floor. The foul on Jordan Roberts for Long Beach State.
That wasn't a good shot, and I know Coach Munson's not going to like that shot. Run your offense. Look, you're up 23. Now you can almost start working clock. Run your offense and work clock. I mean, you still run your offense and take a good shot, but you don't need to come down and jack up a deep three. Up 23.
So Roberts leaves the ball game. R.J. Roden back in, 6 foot, 390-pound redshirt freshman. Same high school as Vince Carter. In fact, the first D1 scholarship from that mainland high school in Daytona since Vince Carter. High post left side, Herrick to his right. The 18-footer skips over the rim, dances around, no. Defensive rebound, Chance Hunter for Long Beach State. Washington racing up the right side. Hesitation move through the lane. Oh, beautiful pass underneath off of Hampton out of bounds. Stays with Long Beach State.
We talked about him getting downhill, and he got downhill that time after the rebound and just got up court so quickly. The Matadors were very fortunate that pass went out of bounds.
Long Beach State 53, CSUN 30. We near 17 minutes to play in regulation. Here's Roden in the inbound to Hampton on the left baseline, working against Okereke. Fidelis playing with 4 fouls. The pass across the paint, tipped by Starks, stolen by Brown for CSUN. CSUN left to right. In transition, here's Starks to the lane. Starks double clutch in the air, left hand, yes, the acrobatic move to the bucket. Clear eyes, full hearts, TJ Starks, and they'll go to the free throw line.
I tell you what, Darius Brown found him in transition. He was streaking, and Brown knew he was behind him, fed him perfectly, and then Starks was able to finish.
So TJ in midair attacking the bucket, and I think they found the formula for TJ. 18 points for him, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Bends the knees, left-handed free throw goes down, nothing but net.
I'd like to see the Matadors come up with something on the defensive end where they're going to have to put a little bit more pressure on the Beach. They can't allow the Beach just to be comfortable and run their offense.
Washington up the right side. For Long Beach State, they lead by 20. In front, Roden. Right of center, this is Chance Hunter back to Washington. Right corner, Roden for Long Beach State. They lead by 20. Oh, the give and go. Washington lays it up and in.
Yeah, Darius Brown that time allowed himself to be screened. He just laid on the screen, and he didn't even fight through it.
Beach 55, CSUN 53. Starks off to Okereke. Left side of the lane. Okereke to his right. Dispossessed by Joe Hampton for Long Beach State. Matadors turn it over. Washington. Long pass ahead, the alley-oop. Laid up and in by Jadon Jones.
Matadors trail by 24, the largest deficit of the game.
57 for the Beach, 33 for CSUN, and that first 4 minutes that you talked about theorizing, not quite happening. Here's Starks in front, working against Roden. Now back to his left, he'll step back. Here's the three. Spins around the iron, no, the tip by Anderson, no, into Jadon Jones' hands. He'll launch it ahead. Starks trying to take it away like a defensive back, and fumbled away by Roden, but recovered by Hampton for the Beach.
Now the Beach are going to run their offense now. I'm watching Coach Munson. He just tell them, run your offense. We're up 24, don't force anything.
Starks fouls Washington out high. We'll step aside and come right back. 15:59 to play in regulation. Matadors down 24. Long Beach State 57, CSUN 33. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Where's Northridge?
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level.
Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag HelloHumanKindness.
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
.57-33 CSUN trails by 24 against Long Beach State, 15:59 to play in regulation. You know, the joke out here in Vegas is if you don't fall behind, you can't set yourself up for a great comeback. I know Matador fans don't want to think about being funny right now, but you know, you got 16 minutes left to play, and that's all. The only option you have, Alan, is to just go out there, put the effort forth, and just try to chip away at this lead.
Exactly, and the effort's going to have to be on the defensive end and on the offensive end. They have to trust each other. You know, TJ Starks, it's hard not to blame him. He's given passes to players who's fumbled them. He's trying, you could tell in the second half, TJ is trying to get his teammates involved, but right now these youngsters, Mert Veladze, Anderson, Okereke, they are showing their age, and unfortunately, it's at the wrong time. It's in the tournament where it's one and done. And so my hope right now is that on the defensive end, the Matadors really, bear down. I'd like for them to have to trap, press, do something. You can't wait till the last 5 minutes and be down 18 to try to do it. I think you have to do it now.
I wonder if you just don't go to full court press now.
I think you have to. I don't believe you can allow them to run their offense anymore, because all they have to do is just run 25 seconds off the shot clock. You're going to have to start pressing and trapping, but the Matadors really they haven't done that all season long, so it's not in their repertoire, so to speak.
Brown, Starks, Anderson, Herrick, and Andemania on the floor for CSUN. Chance Hunter, Isaiah Washington. That's stolen by Darius Brown. Steals the inbound pass to the basket, lays it up and in.
And they're going to give Darius Brown a delay of game warning.
Because he grabbed the basketball. Bounced out. He was trying to give it back to the official. But anyway, 57-35. Hampton, Roden, Washington on the floor with Jadon Jones and Chance Hunter for Long Beach State. So Darius with the bucket off the steal makes it 57-35. And here's some full court pressure. Knocks it out of bounds, does Brown. The Matadors going to go full court here with 15:51 to play in regulation. And they got a couple of guys in foul trouble. We'll see how this goes. Matadors obviously not as deep because they have a number of injuries.
And the Matadors are pressing, full court press.
Here's Washington past Brown. Quickly into the front court. Washington is going to step into Andemania, who draws his third charge of the game. Give him the hat trick.
Well, I don't know if that was the right call, but Festus has done it so well, they've given him the benefit of the doubt. And Washington should just relax. They might need to take Washington out of the game.
It's like, it reminds me of when a pitcher's got a lot of runs, they walk people, and the manager comes out and says, you're up 9 runs, just throw strikes. Hey, you got a 20-point lead, just play crisp. You don't need to force it. Left corner 3 for Starks, circles the iron, no. Offensive rebound, Anderson. He's denied from behind by Jadon Jones. Jones comes away with it for Long Beach State.
2 freshmen going against each other.
Long Beach State 57, CSUN 35. Chance Hunter, another offensive foul, steps in again. Festus establishes position, and the elbow from Joe Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton likes the fact that he's been able to score around the basket, so he's trying to get position. And so right now, Long Beach is kind of losing their cool. No, they're up so big, they don't have to worry about it as much. But they're losing their cool a little bit, that's all. And this is what you get with Long Beach State. See, the Matadors, had they had a big lead, you probably would see the Beach really implode.
57-35, the Beach on top of CSUN. We near 15 minutes to play in regulation, and an offensive foul the other way. TJ Starks whistled on the push there.
Well, they're trying to run plays to get TJ Starks some looks, and TJ Starks picked up that foul. Matadors can't turn the ball over.
And now, wow, TJ's got 4 with 19 points. So here's Colin Slater into the front court for Long Beach State. They're up 57-35. Long Beach State basketball, they got a big lead. Angle right, Slater working against Brown. Bounce pass in front to Chance Hunter. To his left, past Herrick to the basket, and the foul on Brendan Herrick.
Herrick doesn't really have a chance to guard Hunter on an island. That's just a bad mismatch. And Herrick has to realize you got to take away his left hand because Hunter's a left-hander, but Herrick just doesn't have the foot speed to stay in there.
So Stark sits down with 4 fouls. Alec Merkvaladze back in for CSUN. 57-35, Long Beach State up big on the Matadors. Under 15 minutes remain in regulation. Jones, Slater, Hunter, Mansell, and Roden on the floor for Long Beach State. Here's Hunter underneath against Merkvaladze. The bank shot's too strong, but he plucks away the rebound, which bounced out to the free throw line. Hunter back out right of center to Colin Slater. The Beach with the second chance opportunity. They lead 57-35. These teams didn't play this year. The series was canceled due to COVID protocol. Here comes the screen from Mansell. To his left, Colin Slater. The fall away 19-footer, no. The rebound tapped to himself by Roden. And Long Beach State retains possession, so the Matadors can't get a defensive rebound.
Yeah, they're just crushing the Matadors with the rebounding.
Hunter to the right side to Slater. Slater left-hand dribble into the lane. Wraparound pass to Mansell, knocked out of bounds. 5 seconds remain on the shot clock. It'll stay with Long Beach State.
You know, the Matadors aren't doing bad defensively, but they can't end their defensive stand because they can't grab a defensive board.
Rebounding margin 35-22 in favor of the Beach, who came in with a +5 in conference play. Atten Wright checks in for Brendan Herrick for CSUN. So Slater to trigger. 14-12 remain in regulation. He'll lob to the free throw line for Chance Hunter. Hunter against Merkvaladze to his left, spins to his right, steps back, and the jumper falls as the shot clock expires.
Yeah, it's just a good shot.
And here's the turnover from the Matadors. Chance Hunter comes up with it on the left wing. Hunter to a cutting Jadon Jones. Right corner Slater. To his left, here's 3. Back iron, no. Darius Brown fighting for it, but Jones just taking it away from him. Jones steps back, and the short jumper is good.
Well, right now, the Matadors are struggling in every way, turning the ball over, not able to grab a defensive board.
Long Beach State 61, CSUN 35. They go inside to Andamania against Jones, and he's denied by Jones. Put good positional defense on Festus. And this is just, this is nothing that we expected from CSUN.
No, this is not the Matador team that we've seen all season long. Bless their hearts. It's a shame that it happened to happen on national TV and in the tournament, because this has not been the team, but they've got a long off season to learn from it.
Hunter with a travel turns the ball over to CSUN. 13-15 to play. Long Beach State 61, CSUN 35. And you can tell Mark Gottfried visibly frustrated, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't believe that the coaching staff, they don't know what to do, because they couldn't have planned for the team not to make shots, not guard, turn the ball over.
Well, really, everything came down to 7-36 in the first half. That is just unbelievable. Right wing 3 from Brown misfires. Defensive rebound collected by R.J. Roden up the right side. Roden left-handed dribble. Quick touch for Mansell, right wing Chance Hunter. Back to Mansell, right of center. Hands it back to Chance, fakes the 3. Dribbles to the free throw line, lobs inside for Mansell. Little two-man game. Mansell back to a cutting Slater. Right hand lays it up and in. Everything is going in for the Matadors. Long pass ahead. Atten Wright gets the layup from Darius Brown. 63-37, the Beach on top of CSUN. Pressure in the backcourt. Roden working against Atten Wright. Bounce pass up the left sideline. Angle left on the far side, or the near side, is Hunter. To his right, here's 3, and he sinks it.
Well, all I can say right now is the Matadors they're not quitting. It's just that their hearts are broken, ladies and gentlemen. Their hearts are broken because they know that they really wanted to be better, and today is their absolute their worst game.
66-37, ball loose on the floor. Brown diving for it against, looks like Roden and Atten Wright. Whistle on Roden for Long Beach State. And you feel for these young guys in particular how hard they played.
Yep.
But, and it just goes to show you can't leave opportunities on the floor. And, young teams do that. That's not an indictment in any sense of the word, but, it'll come back to bite you sometimes, and you got to learn lessons from this. Coaches prefer to teach lessons when you win. That's how it works better. Matadors basketball. Free throw line. Here's a 17-footer from Festus, short off the front rim. Defensive rebound, Chance Hunter for Long Beach State. Up the right side, Colin Slater. Left-handed dribble, wheeling to the lane. Leaves for Mansell, who can't finish on the back end. Ball tapped around, run down by Andamania. Up the right side comes Brown for CSUN to a cutting Merkvaladze, who throws it down in transition.
That was the first easy basket the Matadors have had in probably a half. That was the easiest basket, transition, and They're still down big.
66-39, Long Beach State on top as we near the 11-minute mark in regulation. Hunter with the screen, left wing, Jadon Jones. Back to Chance Hunter, played a little high school ball with our old friend Terrell Gomez. Skips it into the right corner, catch and shoot three. Short, Roden, defensive rebound plucked away by Amon Anderson. Up the right side comes Brown. CSUN basketball, they're down 27. Hesitation move in the lane by Darius, leaves for Atten Wright. Catch and shoot three right of center, front rim no. Ball dances around, defensive rebound. How about Jadon Jones? He has stepped up. The freshman has come to play for Long Beach State.
Yeah,
he's got a double-double, 16 and 10.
He's played every game, and he's played well, and I've seen him make shots from the baseline, and right now he's just feeling really good. When you have a big lead like this, everything is just so comfortable for you.
Good Big West lineage, too. Remember, his brother Derek played at Cal State Fullerton and Millikan High School in Long Beach. He's a Long Beach kid. Top of the circle, here's an 18-footer from Hunter, and he can't miss now.
No, the shots are going to go for him right now because there's no pressure on him. You know, you're up 29, and nothing is going well for the Matadors, and everything is going your way.
Long Beach State 68, CSUN 39. We near 10 minutes to play in regulation. Here's the lob to Andamania, and Festus slams it down.
That was a nice play by the Matadors. I wish that would have happened a little earlier in the first half, but they are trying to run their offense, Gazal.
68-41, Matadors trail. Under 10 minutes to play in regulation. Wholesale substitutions coming up for Long Beach State and Dan Munson. Front court left, here's Colin Slater on the dribble, working against Darius Brown II. Running clock a little bit. This is Long Beach State shot clock down to 10. Popping out now. High post left side is Ramel Mansell. Turns and faces. Bounce pass across the lane. Here's Jadon Jones. Jumper from the right arc. Off to the left side. Defensive rebound. Merkvaladze for CSUN. Wheeling left to right up the floor. Off to Amon Anderson. Between the circles is Anderson working against Hunter. Middle post. Left side. Merkvaladze again can't finish on the hook. Defensive rebound, Mansell for Long Beach State. Man, he's had no luck down inside. 1 of 11 for Alex Merkvaladze tonight. Long Beach State basketball. Here's the right wing three from Roden. Short to the right side, but bounces up and drops through. And we'll get a break in the action with 9:05 to play in regulation. Long Beach State by 30, 71-41. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network. Presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home.
Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where they have 64 service bays to fix any problem.
Northridge Toyota, your neighborhood Toyota dealership.
Northridge Toyota is located at 19550 Nordoff and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics. Hey Matadors, the Sundial is here to keep you connected to all things CSUN. As the student-run campus news outlet, we aim to be the voice of you, the CSUN community. The Sundial publishes fresh content online daily and timeless, community-focused stories in print every Wednesday. Check us out on the web at dailysundial.com or follow us on Twitter at Daily Sundial and on Instagram at The Sundial.
(71-41). Long Beach State leads CSUN 9:05 to play in regulation. I'm Gazal, he's Alan. And Alan, Alan Zinsmeister is one of the most intense guys you know. And he lives and dies with this team. He gets super excited. Even he's staring at his phone right now. He doesn't know what to do.
I know what to do, Gazal. Philosophically speaking, teams have to go through certain things. I thought the Matadors actually had gone through it earlier when they got beat pretty bad by Santa Barbara. So I thought that.
I thought the Bakersfield game was kind of a wake up because after that,
yes,
they put together 3 solid games.
But that's on the road, and Bakersfield is a really good team. But to have them just be taken apart by this beach squad, it lets me know that what happened was because they couldn't make shots, Gazal, it affected their defense. Because they couldn't make shots, it affected their passing. Because they couldn't make shots, it affected their trust. And that's something that the coaching staff didn't believe would happen because they were positive they had gotten through all that. So right now, today was a step back. not so much because they missed shots, but because of the fact that there are things that they normally would not do, they've done today, and I'm disappointed for them, but hopefully from this they will really learn.
71-41, the Beach on top. Starks back into the game with 4 fouls. High post on the left side. This is Andemania, hands it right back on the wing to TJ Starks. Starks to his left on the dribble, into the lane, rises up, and the ball spins around and goes down. So Starks putting in the effort for the Matadors. 71-43, right to left, Long Beach State. Washington on the floor with Jordan Roberts, Justin Renee. Here's Trevor Irish out front, drops it underneath for Hampton. Hampton to the basket, denied by Andemania, called for a foul. Festus didn't like the call.
Yeah, he didn't like the call, but he got it with the body. And Festus, that time, whenever you kind of slap down, they're going to give the call to the offensive player. So Hampton has had his way in the around the basket. He's just going up against some youngsters who are a little bit less experienced than he is, and he's taking advantage of it.
So another breaking the action, I guess. Breaking the action, 8:31 to play here in regulation. 71-43, Matadors trail by 28. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge.
Smell that? It's playoff season. You know how you can tell? Because the playoffs are on. East will meet West, sevens will be bested, and banners will be lifted. So get in your car, your boat, or your train and get to B-Dubs. To celebrate this special time of the year, curl up with some wings, warm up by the TV with your closest savages, and order a frosty beer just like Mom used to pour. Merry playoffs, everyone. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
.43, CSUN trails Long Beach State. Playing around in the Big West Basketball Championships. I'm Ghazal, he's Allen. You know, the perspective on Dan Munson. Munson now in his 14th? Yeah, 14th, that doesn't sound right. 14th season here at Long Beach State. Remember, he kind of started that Gonzaga legacy. He was on Dan Fitzgerald's staff, then took over when Fitzgerald left, led Gonzaga to the Sweet 16. Left for Minnesota when they tripled his salary, and the Bulldogs have reached every year since. Mark Few and he were on the staff together. He's still highly respected in Spokane. You know, all the coaches who are still there, all the media that covered him. He was 52-17 in his 2 years at Gonzaga, leading them to the NCAA in 1999.
Wow, we're going all the way back to that. The score is that bad, huh? Okay, well. Yeah, it lets me know that he sure knows how to pick assistant coaches, because Mark Few really has taken that program to heights that no one thought. So that was a great hire by Coach. And coaches, his players, they probably deserve this to get a chance to. They've had a real tough season, and they are talented. This is a talented squad that just didn't play the way they were capable of most nights. And they are today, and the Matadors have really helped them out by not playing good. But, today was their day.
Hampton, 1 of 2, 72-43. The Beach leads CSUN. Left corner Starks for the Matadors. To the lane. The step back 17-footer dances around the rim. Tipped by Atten Wright, no. Tipped around by Andemania. Still loose on the floor. Irish saves it into Hampton for Long Beach State. The Beach with the basketball as we near 8 minutes to play in regulation. Long Beach State up 72-43. Left wing three from Isaiah Washington. Misfires, bounds left. Andemania with 2 hands on it. Still needs to be saved in by Darius Brown II. Trying to get it to Starks. Knocked out of bounds by Jordan Roberts.
Darius has thrown a couple of passes where he's telegraphed him, and that one should have been stolen. Earlier he tried to make a pass to Amon Anderson that was stolen. So right now, I like the fact that Darius is trying to push the ball ahead, but they're kind of lazy passes, Ghazal.
So timeout on the floor, 7:55 to play. We already burned the break, so we'll keep it right here. Matadors trailing 72-43. It's just a sad way for this season to end, Alan.
It is, and as you and I have covered this team all season long, yes, they're young, they're talented, they have their ups and downs, but after you saw them play against Riverside, you knew that they were just about there, that they could compete with anybody. So today's performance is totally shocking because they didn't do anything that they would normally do. And sometimes the bright lights of a tournament will do that to you. And I think the bright lights of the tournament actually affected TJ Starks earlier, which has a trickle-down effect. TJ was trying so hard to help his team. It wasn't like he was being selfish or greedy or anything like that. He was just trying to score for his team, and he turned the ball over, dribbling into the crowd. And so he started off bad, and that kind of had an effect on the other players because they were like, if our star is in trouble, maybe we're in trouble. And then that's all it took for Long Beach State was to come and hit a couple of easy shots underneath the basket, a great game plan by Munson to get some athletic long guys underneath the basket against the shorter Matadors, and they got some easy scores early, and that got them out in the lead. And from there, they just never looked back. There's bounce in their step. And look, when Isaiah Washington sat pretty much the latter half of the first half, and they extended the lead, that's all Coach Munson needed to show his team.
7:55 to go. We're back to action here at Michelob Ultra Arena. It's Long Beach State 72, CSUN 43. Waiting for TV to come back. Jadon Jones, what a game he's had. 16 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for the young freshman. He's a guy who kind of absorbed what needed to be done here, the St. Anthony product. I mentioned his dad, Derek Jones, played for George McCorn at Fullerton, and he was a junior college transfer, so after his first year, he was nearly killed in a drive-by in Long Beach, but then came back to play that last year with Cedric Ceballos. CSUN basketball, right wing Starks for the Matadors. To his left, here's the 17-footer, is short. Justin Renee picks it off for Long Beach State, pushes it ahead to Isaiah Washington.
I'd like to see TJ give the ball up. TJ has shot it every single time that he's touched it. I'd like to see him get the ball and then give it up to somebody else because this game is over. Play for your teammates now, TJ. Play for them. Say, look, fellas, I didn't play right early in the game. I was trying too hard. But I'm going to play right now. I'm going to get you guys the ball. I'm going to get you the best looks I can.
Turnover. Isaiah Washington called for palming the ball. And so he'll leave the floor. Colin Slater back. Slater just played 7 games this year. He opted out with COVID. He looks none worse for the wear right now, Alan.
Yeah, he hit those 2 deep 3-pointers that really broke the Matadors back.
Between the circles, Brown for CSUN. High post left side, Merk Veladze. Alex backs off on the dribble. Right corner for Atten Wright for CSUN. Matadors down 72-43 as we near the 7-minute mark in regulation. Wright against Hampton. He's wide open. Deep NBA 3. Yes.
Well, the man fell down in front of him. He said, look, I got to take this shot, don't I, Coach?
72-46, 26-point lead for the Beach. Weaving into the front court is Colin Slater working against Brown on the right angle. In front, this is Hampton. He'll lob down underneath for Irish. And Irish blows the bunny. Defensive rebound, Merk Veladze. Little turnabout is fair play for Trevor Irish. Couldn't quite get position. Right of center. Here's 3 from Starks. Bangs that off the back iron. Okereke back in there. Climbs the ladder for the offensive rebound. And CSUN has it back. Here's Merk Veladze down the left side of the lane. Off to Fidelis. Left corner. Here's 3 from Atten Wright is short. The ball tapped around and run down in the left corner by Jordan Roberts for Long Beach State. The Beach with the ball and the lead. Front court right, here's Slater, left-handed dribble. Terminates his dribble now, wheels to the right side for Justin Renee, the Long Beach Poly product. Right corner, they drop it down to the right baseline for Hampton against Okereke. Over the shoulder, pass to a cutting Renee, laid it up and in.
Yeah, that's how you play basketball. Now that's an unselfish play. That's how you play it. Give it to Renee, doesn't score a lot. Easy shot for him.
74-46, Starks in the lane. Here's the runner, can't finish, rolls off the back iron. Defensive rebound, Trevor Irish for Long Beach State. Long Beach State 74, CSUN 46. Beach basketball. Top of the circle, left-handed dribble. Slater, right of the arc, Irish. Tries to pass it, stolen by Starks. TJ left to right all the way. TJ to the basket, lays it up and in.
Well, Starks hasn't passed the ball the last few times he touched it, and that time he had good reason not to pass it.
Matadors down 74-48. Long Beach State basketball, Slater right angle. Slater spins around Brown all the way in against Okereke. Fidelis can't do anything with the 4 fouls, and he lays it up and in. Starks trying to get the bounce pass to Merkvaladze, but deflected and stolen by Roberts for Long Beach State. 76-48, the Beach up big on the Matadors. They'll reset front court left with Slater, and down is TJ Starks grabbing his right knee.
Yep, it was right ankle, I think, is all it looks like it might be. It's right ankle, and that's just so. I hope it's just something where he, just kind of misstep, but nothing serious, because that would be a shame. I mean, TJ, he really, really is a competitor, and what he tried to do today was do everything he could to help his team win, but he was just too hyped and didn't play within himself, in my opinion, at the start of the game. And the Matadors needed him to either make shots or pass the ball, but he didn't really do either well early in the game because he was trying so hard.
So stay tuned with us. We'll have Matadors pregame for you. I don't know that we'll get Mark Gottfried. We will have access to the postgame with the Big West through Zoom. Mark Gottfried kind of helping TJ Starks off, and Steve Greck, the athletic trainer, sports medicine director for CSUN, kind of walking on his own. You always like to see that.
I do. And I hope the Matadors get a chance to get Kalen Raines in the ball game and George Wogu in the ball game at some point, maybe at about the 2-minute mark. Those young fellas can get in on a nationally televised game.
So Starks goes and has a seat. Amon Anderson back in for CSUN. So Brown, Anderson, Wright, Okereke, and Merkvaladze, 4 freshmen, and Darius Brown on the floor for CSUN. Left of center, here's Hampton back to the basket, turns and faces, drops it down to the left baseline underneath. Roberts is denied by Okereke. They're going to get Fidelis on a foul. If that's on Fidelis, he's fouled out.
Yeah, I tell you what, Anderson got underneath that basket, and he was about to get scored on, and Fidelis said, look, I'll come over and help out, but I'll have to commit my 5th foul so that he doesn't score.
So his 5th, the 6th team foul, so we'll probably get...
Well, he's staying in the ballgame. Maybe it's not his 5th. What do you think? Maybe they messed up earlier.
Oh, actually, they didn't give it. They gave it to Anderson. They didn't give it to Okereke. So I'm on with the foul, and here's Roberts at the free throw line. I mentioned he's the veteran for Long Beach State, and the first free throw misses. He missed his only other free throw tonight. Roberts has played 106 career games at Long Beach State over his 4 years under Dan Munson. Bakersfield product out of Ridgeview High. Colin Slater leaves the game. Justin Renee checks back in. Renee out of Long Beach Poly. 5:04 to play in regulation. Long Beach State 76, CSUN 48. And the second free throw dances in off the front lip for Jordan Roberts. 77-48, Long Beach State up big on the Matadors. Okereke in front, swings to the left wing for Anderson. Trying to get the entry pass into Merkvaladze, deflected out, stays with CSUN.
Yeah, they're trying to run their offense now, and that's fine. Continue to run your offense, to do the right things. You never know what you can learn from these last 4 minutes.
77-48. Matadors trail by 29. Here's Anderson sweeping back. Left wing to Merkvaladze, fakes the 3, now attacks the rim, puts the ball on the floor. He's shut off by Mansell. He'll send it back out to Atten right, front court right. 9 to shoot for the Matadors. Here's a screen roll with Merkvaladze, but the three-pointer off the front rim. Okereke underneath, 2 and 1, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Fidelis deserved that. He went up high, grabbed that rebound, and was able to score. Now let's see if he can make a free throw.
So 77-50 is the score after the bucket by Fidelis. And Fidelis, the foul trouble was really rough on him today. Merkvaladze sits down, Andemanya back for CSUN. He'll go to the free throw line. He had made so much progress, Alan. I was so impressed with what he had done about the last month of the season, considering where he started. You forget that he's only really been playing basketball for 4 years.
Yep, and he's really learned a lot this season. And hey, Kalen Raines actually is in the ball game.
And the free throw dances around the rim and drops through for Okereke. So Fidelis makes the and 1 for the Matadors. And they're to within 77-51. Kalen Raines, Alan mentioned, has checked into the ball game. The 6'6" freshman, San Ysidro High School. And down the lane is Roberts, 2 and 1. The block for Jordan Roberts, the freshman.
Yeah, that time Darius Brown, who's got 4 fouls, I think you said. I can take a look. But Darius, that time, just got beat on the dribble drive quite easily.
That's the third on Festus. And of course, Roberts, a senior, not a freshman.
Roberts shoots 1.
I had freshman on my mind because you're talking about Kalen Raines.
Yeah, Raines, I'm glad that he's in the ball game.
6 games coming in against the Matadors, he averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds a game. And he'll drop it to make it an 80-51 game.
Brown only has 2 fouls. He's got to guard better than that. I mean, that was just a you just gave up that time. You got to do a little better than that, Mr. Brown.
So Roberts, 6 points and 4 rebounds, right at his averages for CSUN. Middle post, left side, Okereke. Rotates to the right corner. Here's Atten Wright attacking. The reverse layup, right to left, is off the window and down.
You know, when you run the offense, it's very, very beautiful. And the Matadors actually have been running the offense, and guys have been getting good looks.
Mansell, left corner. Front court left, Jadon Jones. Right of center. This is R.J. Roden down the lane. Leaves for Mansell, left baseline. Under 4 minutes to play in regulation. Big lead for Long Beach State. Here's Rene spinning to his right against Atten Wright. In and out, no. Defensive rebound plucked away by Andamania for CSUN.
That's a nice defensive play that time by Wright. Wright did a good job just walling up.
80-53, Long Beach State leads. CSUN basketball. Raines rotates to the top of the circle for Darius Brown. Below the free throw line is DB2. Out to Kalen Raines, touches it, and deep 3 straight away from Atten Wright. Swish.
That's an NBA 3, so Atten sure is not afraid to put it up.
Long Beach State 80, CSUN 56. Beach basketball. Comes up the left sideline comes Justin Rene. Rene played with a couple of big-time teammates in high school, Peyton Watson and Dorian Williams. Left corner, here's Mansell for Long Beach State. They're up big. Attacking is Roden off the window, no. Offensive rebound, Roden is dispossessed by Darius Brown for CSUN. Brown racing up the middle of the floor. Off to Atten Wright, left wing. Catch and shoot 3 for Atten. And he's on fire.
Yeah, he's on fire, and I like it. He's getting to his spots, and he hadn't been hitting his shots the last couple of games. So if there's anything positive to come out of it, the youngster is getting a chance to have some shots go in.
80-59, Matadors down 21, and a foul by Atten right underneath as Roberts takes the ball to the rim and will get a break. 2:36 to play in regulation. Long Beach State 80, CSUN 59. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag HelloHumanKindness.
CSUN Matadors Athletics would like to thank Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute for their continued support. The LA Orthopedic Institute is one of California's most respected sports medicine practices with a philosophy rooted in faster rehabilitation and recovery. The LA Orthopedic Institute has offices in Sherman Oaks and Palmdale. For more information, go to laortho.org. to 59, Long Beach leads CSUN, 2:36 to play in regulation. 23 for Starks, 13 now for Atten Wright. The Matadors on an 8-0 run. They needed this at the beginning of the half, not the end of the half. 16 and 10 for Jadon Jones, 12 for Colin Slater, 10 for Joe Hampton, 13 for Chance Hunter. I want to go back and tell the story about Jadon Jones' dad, Derek, who played at Cal State Fullerton for George McCorn, had a great 87 year, and then a drive-by, nearly died on a drive-by in front of his house in Long Beach in 1988, rehabbed and came back, ended up playing in that 89 team for McCorns. That Cal State Fullerton team ended up going 16 and 13. They were 10 and 8, good enough for fourth in the Big West. That year actually was under John Snead. It was Snead's first year, but they had a great game against UNLV on February 9th at historic Titan Gym. They won it 93-92. It was Jones who tied it late on a three-point basket. They later went on to win. Vegas, though, got their revenge. They knocked off Fullerton in the Big West tournament, second round in the Long Beach Arena that year. But Jadon Jones kind of carrying on that tradition here in the Big West tournament for his dad, Derek, who's still, I think, does recreational stuff in the city of Long Beach.
Well, I'm sure that Derek is so proud of his son. He's had a wonderful season. He's got a lot to be proud of, and I know that Mr. Jones is proud of his dad. Jadon says, my dad's a tough guy, survived a lot. I can do my part and keep the name positive.
Atten Wright to the free throw line. On the foul, it's Jordan Roberts to the free throw line. And it's a 1-and-1, and he sinks the first one. He'll get a bonus. Roberts now 3 of 5 from the line. He had 6 points and 4 rebounds, which I told you his career against CSUN, it was 6.2 and 4.2, so he's going to be a little ahead of that now. 81-59, Long Beach State leads.
You think they'll put George Wogo in? I'd like to see George get in the game, too.
82-59, I'm sure he'll get in.
I hope he does. That maybe at the 2-minute mark they can get him in a ball game.
Darius Brown directing traffic. Right with a quick touch. Left wing Kalen Rains. Rains with a dribble out to Brown for CSUN. Left wing Rains, here's the deep 3. Misses fires to the left side, tapped by Andamania, but come up with, that's Jadon Jones for Long Beach State. 82-59, Long Beach leads. Right wing 3 for Jadon Jones, and that's money.
You talked about his dad, and he said, I'll show you what I got from my dad, the ability to knock down shots.
85-59, Long Beach State on top of CSUN. Here's the Matadors. Free throw line on Demania, back to Rains. Front court right, Atten right for CSUN, under 2 minutes to play in regulation. High screen from Andamania, left wing Kalen Rains. Good 3-point, top of the circle. Atten right gets creamed by Justin Renee. And I know those two guys went at it in high school a little bit, so 3 free throws coming up for Atten right.
I think Renee said, look, you hit too many three-pointers. I'm gonna contest this 3, but he contested it too well and committed the foul.
Well, actually, it was funny. It wasn't that he didn't have it. Renee had a history with Amon Anderson. They played against each other in a CIF game back in November of 2018, and Wright's first free throw dances in. Amon Anderson had 19. Renee had 23. It was a win for Poly over Lusinger. Second free throw coming. Right-handed free throw is good for Atten Wright. Atten, you know, he's a microwave. He can light up. He didn't really get into rhythm late in the season, but he had a couple games, had that game against Cal, and he had 22 in the game against Cal State Fullerton. I think his future here is bright.
Very, very bright. I mean, and he's making the most of it right now, isn't he?
Atten Wright makes all 3 free throws for the Matadors, and he's now got 16 points on the game despite just playing 17 minutes. Roden in front for Long Beach State. They lead big, 85-62. Right wing Renee against Brown. They cycle it down to Big Jeff Yan, playing against his high school teammate Festus Andamania. Kind of uses the elbow, but before he did, he traveled and turns it over to the Matadors.
Festus said, you know you didn't score against me in high school. I'm not going to let you score against me in college.
85-62. Matadors down, and they have the basketball. Wright, Brown, Andamania on the floor with Okereke and Kalen Rains. Here's Rains, angle left on the far side. Between the circles, near midcourt is Darius Brown II for CSUN. Left corner right. To his left, here's the 3. Short to the left side. Defensive rebound comes down to Jordan Roberts. Ahead to Justin Renee. Over his head, out of bounds. Turnover for Long Beach State.
Poor George Wogu. I did wish maybe if I think real hard, they'll realize and our coach will catch that I want George to get in the game. You think maybe? Come on, coach. I'm trying to send you a message. Get George in. Nope, it didn't work.
Brown across the midcourt stripe. Left wing right for CSUN. Matadors down 85-62. Free throw line Andamania, quickly double teamed. One dribble through Jeffrey Yan, puts it up, and he draws a foul on his old high school teammate. How about that?
Can you imagine the practices with those 2 big, strong guys? But Jeffrey's going to be able to have the bragging rights this time. The last time they played, the bragging rights went to Festus, but not this time. Big Jeffrey's going to have the bragging rights.
So Andamania to the free throw line. I'll tell you what, Festus, I learned so much about Festus this year. You know, he had that year last year where he kind of free throw, he misses his first miss. He's going to be disappointed. He'd made all 4 of his free throws previous to that. That was just a little bit too strong.
Jan's probably saying the ball don't lie. He created all the contact and then fell down.
But Festus, you know, he thought he was coming around last year, and you didn't have an offseason because of COVID. And then he got sick, and he was injured, and he wasn't feeling well. But he still managed to play in all 21 Matador games.
That's just the toughness of the young man.
Under a minute to play in regulation. Long Beach State 85, CSUN 63. Here's Renee into the lane, draws I think, was that 4 or 5? Festus Andamania draws another charge.
Festus does not mind taking charges, and he might be a little bit hurt. And maybe they'll now put in Wogu. Nope, still won't put him in.
So Andamania made 1 of 2 free throws to make it 85-63. And then the charge on that play. Matadors will just play it out here. 35 seconds to play. Brown to his right. Finds Kalen Rains. Kalen gets the ball and gets it into the high post to Andamania, back to Kalen. Left side, Atten right for CSUN. 24 seconds remain, 10 on the shot clock. Right wing 3 for Kalen Rains is blocked. Now, if it's
Yeah,
blocked,
it
it'll
was
stay
Yep,
with CSUN.
It was blocked. Yep, the official caught it. And you're absolutely correct, Gazal. He's not going to miss it that badly.
So 7 seconds remain on the shot clock as it did not hit the rim, and Raines will trigger. Kalen right on the basket on the baseline, lobs deep left of center for Atten Wright for CSUN. Atten Wright launches the three over Jadon Jones. I think Jones got a piece of that too,
Nope.
But instead it'll go over to Long Beach State.
But I don't think Long Beach State will take a shot. I think they'll just dribble it up and then not hold the ball. I would think they would do that.
Jordan Roberts, the senior for the Beach, will dribble the ball into the forecourt, and the shot clock will expire. The game clock will expire, and the Matadors will end their season here in the play-in round of the 2021 Big West Basketball Championship. Final score, Long Beach State 85, CSUN 63, Alan Zinsmeister.
Well, the Matadors really didn't come today. They came ready to play, but they didn't bring their best game, unfortunately. And that happens sometimes. It happened at the worst time. But the future is bright with these youngsters, don't you think, Gazal?
I do, and hopefully, we had this conversation with Mark Gottfried at the pregame the other day. College basketball, it's a year-to-year proposition, so who knows who comes back and who doesn't. If everybody comes back, I think they're in really good shape next year.
Yes.
We'll step aside. We'll come back with Matadors pregame presented by Under Armour, the official outfitter of CSUN Athletics. Under Armour, built to make you better. Check GoMatadors.com for latest and branded CSUN apparel.
It's game time, Matador fans, and at Northridge Toyota, it's game on. With over 700 new, certified, and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, they're sure to have one that's just right for you. Come in and see why Northridge Toyota is the fastest-growing Toyota dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care. Located on Nordhoff across the street from the Northridge Mall, and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Go Matadors!
It's not just a haircut, it's an authentic experience with True Barbershop. Book your appointment now at TrueBarbershopInc.com. True Barbershop is committed to serving the community and have partnered with the Matadors to unite the Valley one haircut at a time. With a team of 8 professional and qualified licensed barbers, True Barbershop can service all ages from kids to seniors to retired and military. True Barbershop is located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard in Northridge and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics.
Matadors postgame from Under Armour. Welcome back. Gazal and Allen with you. Matadors lose this one 85-63. Their season ends. Stat report is presented to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, located at 9301 Tampa Boulevard in Northridge. Save time by ordering the takeout on the website from their to-go favorites menu. 2020 and 15-15 wing combos still available for a limited time. Long Beach State. R.J. Roden had 5 points and 7 rebounds in his 20 minutes. The senior Jordan Roberts, you're happy for him. He advances 8 points, 5 rebounds in 24 minutes. Justin Renee had a bucket in 15 minutes and fouled out of the game. Jeffrey Yon got a cameo, 2 minutes, fouled his old high school teammate but did not score. Isaiah Washington, 18 minutes for him, 6 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He did pick up a technical in the first half and sat for an extended period of time. Romel Mansell, 8 points and 2 rebounds in his 19 minutes. Colin Slater, 23 minutes. He had 12 points and 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. Joe Hampton started hot, ended up with 10 points in his 19 minutes. Chance Hunter, 13 points in 19 minutes, 5 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc with 4 rebounds. Trevor Irish had a bucket in his 5 minutes, and it really, Jadon Jones, player of the game for Long Beach, double-double, 19 and 11 in 34 minutes. The young freshman out of St. Anthony in Long Beach, 7 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 2 of 2 from the free throw line for Long Beach State, who shot 52% from the floor, 32 of 62, 41%, 9 of 22 from beyond the arc, 12 of 16 from the free throw line, 48 rebounds, 15 assists. They did turn the ball over 20 times, so the Matadors pushed that for them. But the Beach had 13 second chance points, and they scored 16 points off Matadors turnovers, and they established the lead early. Matadors missed some shots, and then after that, they were just basically nursing the lead. They had a stretch early where they were hitting a bunch of shots, and then, pretty soon it was all over but the shouting.
Yeah, the Matadors never really gave them anything to worry about because they shot so poorly. Had the Matadors, as you mentioned, just shot their average, or just shot even a little bit below their average, they would have been in the ball game. At least it wouldn't have been a 20-point halftime deficit. It was just as the case where the Matadors didn't shoot well. They didn't defend well early enough to give themselves a real fighting chance. And as I mentioned, the Beach, they're front runners because they're talented athletes. They've been struggling, but if they can get ahead and feel good about themselves, they get pep in their step and make shots.
The CSUN side, Festus Andamania, 7 points, 5 rebounds. He was 5 of 6 from the free throw line in his 20 minutes. Atten Wright heated up late, 19 minutes, 16 points, 5 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, and made all 3 of his free throws. Darius Brown, 38 minutes for DB2, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 for 4, though, from beyond bonus distance. Fidelis Okereke, 25 minutes, had 5 points, 4 rebounds for the Matadors. I thought he capped off a pretty good freshman year. Amon Anderson, 27 minutes, 2 points, was 0 of 3 from the floor. And I agree with you. I think he really kind of got pushed out of his game when he missed a couple of those shots early.
He missed a couple of early, and then he had a tough defensive assignment. So this was one time. Look, freshmen sometimes they get into a situation where they're playing older guys, and now the lights come on. And they're like, whoa, this guy's really good, and they get a little nervous.
Merk Veladze, 4 points and 10 rebounds in 27 minutes, and he was also a key. He missed some early shots that were close in and struggled, and I think that kind of hung with him a little bit, and then when he looked up, all of a sudden, his team was down 20, and it was just tough. Brendan Herrick, 13 minutes, missed all 3 shots he took, did grab 2 rebounds, of course, and then TJ Starks, 27 minutes for Starks, had 4 fouls, so he was kind of in and out, but 9 of 23 from the floor, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, in his 23 minutes. And what you look at, the numbers is 7 turnovers to no assists, but he did. There were a couple of passes he probably should have had assists on that he didn't get assists on.
Right, he tried to get some assists in the second half, but that didn't work. And then the first half, when they really needed him maybe to get others involved because, he wasn't shooting well, he didn't. And I think that's where they lost it. If early on, I think if he gets others involved, they feel a little bit better about themselves. But TJ was feeling like, look, I got to get us going. I got to score to help our team. And in a sense, that actually ended up hurting the team because he wasn't making the shots, and then nobody did.
Matadors 20 of 69 from the floor, 29%, 5 of 30, 17% from beyond the arc. They did hit 18 of 20 free throws today. Were out-rebounded 48 to 31, and 7 assists to 13 turnovers. You never like that ratio if you're the Matadors, AZ. That's the stat report brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Out-of-town scoreboard is generally presented by True Barbershop. True Barbershop located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard and at TrueBarbershopInc.com. Still accepting appointments through the website. Owned by Matador alumni Daniel and David. They're proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Only one other game going on after ours. It'll be Cal State Fullerton and Cal Poly. The one other Big West game is on the women's side. Cal State Fullerton knocked off UC Riverside 54-51. So they will go and play Hawaii, I believe, on Wednesday tomorrow in the women's bracket here at Michelob Ultra Arena. Time now for the players of the game, brought to you by Under Armour, official outfitter of CSUN Athletics. Under Armour, built to make you better. AZ, give me your choices for players of the game. Let's start with Long Beach State.
Oh, this one's pretty easy. I mean, you talked about his father. You talked about the tough things that his dad went through and the fact that he was a player. It's Mr. Jadon Jones. He just had a wonderful game. I mean, look, he scored 19 points. He only took 12 shots, made half of his three-pointers, 3 of 6, made both of his free throws, but he had 11 rebounds, Ghazal, so he just played magnificently. That was a freshman who kind of had some veterans around him that got him going. He had some open looks. He had some really easy shots to make, and he made them.
And how about for the Matadors?
For the Matadors, I'm going to go with another freshman. Even though it was late in the game, it was kind of cosmetic. Atten Wright did make shots, and not only did he make shots, but he took them. He took them in the flow of the offense. He didn't force anything, so he was 5 of 10 from the field. He made all 3 of his free throws, 3 of 8 from behind the arc, and they were some deep threes. He only had 1 personal foul. So when you could score 16 points in 19 minutes on an economy of shots, and even though the game was over, he still took the right shots. He made the majority of them. And, I shouldn't say the majority. He's 5 of 10. He made half of them, and that's a good percentage. And I'm happy for him.
Alan Zinsmeister has spoken, and Jadon Jones and Atten Wright, a couple of freshmen, the players of the game here. We step aside. We have a Zoom meeting coming up, so I don't know if Mark Gottfried will be with us, but you'll be able to hear his thoughts because the league is conducting a Zoom meeting. We'll step aside and come right back. Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
To us. We used to gather in proud arenas. Now we're watching March Madness while stuck in work holes. Loser. Jerk. Or shoved in man caves. We've been left alone with a DVR replay while trying not to wake the baby. Enough! Let's make our Fanchesters proud and follow the tribe, the B-Dubs, so we can fill our beers, crush all the wings, and pound every single game. You want madness? That's March Madness. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
AZ and I will have to stall for a little bit. So they're setting up the post-game meeting. I guess we'll get Mark Gottfried. I believe we'll get Long Beach State first. So we'll stay on the air with you as this progresses. Alan Zinsmeister, Kazal Hassan. The final score today was not good if you're a CSUN fan. Silver medal for the Matadors here against Long Beach State, 85-63, and it's just a tough one. And it's one of those games where, coaches talk about game getting away from you. It's a game you kind of think is going to be tightly contested, and all of a sudden you miss a couple of shots, they make a couple of shots, and the snowball is rolling downhill, and you're trying to, I remember the late David Edwards. David Edwards is a great player out of New York, started his career at Georgetown, and then ended up at Texas A&M, had a pretty good career. And I remember a friend of mine would go play pickup, and David Edwards would be there, and he'd go play pickup in New York. And he said, guarding David Edwards, and he was a big guy, so he never had to guard him. But it's like, how when the wind blows and a piece of paper floats around and you're trying to catch it? He's like, that's what it is. And that's kind of what happened to the Matadors today. That piece of paper got in the wind, they just couldn't catch it. And the shots they were missing early, Alan, and correct me if I'm wrong, all shots those guys normally make. Amon Anderson missed a shot he normally would make. Alex Merkvaladze missed a couple that he'd normally make. TJ missed a couple that he'd normally make. All of a sudden, if you're talking 3 or 4 shots, the entire complexion of the game is different.
And it just puts more pressure on you because this game is important. You really want the game, and that's where you want to talk about leadership and veteran leadership. You actually have it in TJ Starks and Darius Brown, but today, as I mentioned on several occasions, TJ was trying so hard for his teammates that he kind of got out of rhythm for himself, and he could never really get it going. And the Matadors had a chance. I remember they had gotten the score down to 12, and they were actually looking like they might be able to do okay. But then there were 2 really, really deep three-pointers by Colin Slater. I mean, they were deep NBA threes, straight top of the key type threes, maybe 4 or 5 feet behind it. But he drained them, and that just really broke the Matadors' heart, and they just never recovered once that happened.
So we're waiting to get up the Big West Zoom call right now. Dan Munson is talking, and we will plot that up for you. Alan and I are here, but here is the Big West Zoom post-game from here at Michelob Ultra Arena. Matadors lose this one 85-63. Dan Munson and Jadon Jones are talking right now.
In the season so far to have our best game. So I told guys, maybe Jadon and Justin Renee had their best games of the year, but everybody else just did their job today. And it just, as we get yet another team together, it's just really, I think, gives them some confidence that when they just do their jobs, how good they can be together. And it was a fun game to coach because they were prepared. I think Mike Scholl was back on the bench, did a great job on the preparation, and I thought that they really were very coachable today, and it was one of those games. I don't know the last time it's been a couple years, I think, since we've had a game like that, and they picked a good time to do it. So hopefully we can feel good about it for the night and put it away and start preparing for Santa Barbara, because that's a whole different animal.
All right, we'll open up for questions. And if you want to ask a question, type the word question into the chat box along with your name and organization, and we'll unmute your mic and you can ask your question there. Everyone else, make sure to mute your mics. But first, we'll start with Jadon. You said earlier today was your first career double-double. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I feel great. I know Coach has been emphasizing rebounds, especially in these last few games where we lost the rebounding board. But, I just something I try to emphasize within my game and just try to do what we can to win. So I'm glad I can contribute as far as rebounding and doing other things.
How big is the type of player? You guys have played a lot of really close games all year. Come to the tournament, and you get a 22-point win. How does that feel as a player to be able to do that?
Honestly, it feels good, but we know it's not over. We know it's not done. We have a lot more to accomplish. If you would have walked into the locker room after the game, it was quiet. There was no celebrating. We were locked in. We know we have Santa Barbara coming up, and like the coach said, it's a different animal. So we're locked in for the next game.
Talk a little about Santa Barbara and your feelings on that.
We're excited. We know it's going to be a good game. We know we're going to have to lock down and be focused, but it's nothing that we can't handle. We're confident in our own abilities and our own coaching staff that they'll get us prepared correctly. So we're excited for it, and we're up for the challenge.
Coach, your thoughts on Jadon's performance today?
That's a great question.
Well, when I told the team that nobody had to do anything special, that nobody had their best game ever. They just guys just did their jobs, and it's amazing how good we can be, and play our best game when everybody does their job. And right away, Isaiah or somebody said, well, Jadon had his best game. And you get caught up, you're not really evaluating your team. You're looking at Starks, what he's doing, and Brown's what he's doing. I had no idea that he had 11 rebounds, but he's given us a great lift this year as a freshman, just, being aggressive to score for us, which we need, but taking good shots. And his game's just, I'm just really excited to have him for 4 more years if he wants, because he's been very coachable, and coachable kids that work hard get better. And he's just gotten better as the season's gone on. And he's not just that catch and shoot guy in the corner, hoping that he can make one so he can stay in the game. He's, which he started the year as. He's rebounding. He started the game and spent a lot of game guarding Brown, who's an all-league player. And I just I'm really proud of him, and it's an honor to coach him.
A lot of stops and starts for you this year. First game didn't come to December 4th. How different is this team today on March 9th than it was on December 4th?
Well, this is a different team than we had last week.
Gazal.
Hey, Coach. We break away from the
radio, or am I going to this room to do the feed, or what?
I'm going to do both. So, do you want to come on with us now, or do you want to wait till you go on the feed?
I'll do it now.
So we'll turn down Dan Munson. We'll bring Mark Gottfried on. Matadors dropped this one 85-63. Coach, I know you got to do one in about 5 minutes, but this is the press conference no coach likes to do. Give me some thoughts on what went on in this one tonight.
Well, let me just say this first. I'm proud of our guys. We didn't play very well today, but they've endured a lot this year. They've been through a lot, and they wanted to win. And, we started the game, and we just couldn't make a shot. I mean, I think at one time we were 3 for 22, I remember, and it could have been worse than that. And, what happens a lot of times, especially when you have an inexperienced team, that begins to, mentally affect you. And then it really affected our defense. And, where our offense kind of, we struggled offensively, and then we began to struggle defensively. So, the other thing is, I think you got to give those guys credit. They got rid of a really good player. They put number 2 in there, Roberts, and boy, they kind of rallied around and probably played one of the best games they've played all year. So you got to tip your hat to them. They played great. But we had one of those games where we could not make a shot, and it's hard. In basketball, when you can't score the ball, it just becomes really, really difficult.
Al and I were talking. It reminds me of you're in high school and you're carrying your papers and it's a windy day and the one paper flies away and you're just chasing the paper and nothing can happen. And that seems like what happened to you, in that guys were missing shots they normally make, and it was just like the snowball rolling downhill. And all of a sudden you look up and you're down 20, And, the guys were putting the effort in. I mean, they were making some actually it's funny to say, they're making some good plays on defense, good stance on defense, but 7 of 36 in the first half. I mean, if you shoot 14 of 36, that's 35%, and you're still right in that game. But the 7, that just killed you. You had guys missing shots around the bucket, and then guys missing jumpers they normally make.
Yeah, and we had a bunch of those. TJ played really hard, but we had a couple of those drives in there early that he normally makes and did. Mond had a couple great looks. I think Alex was about 0 for 8 or 9 before he got going. A lot of those were good. So it's kind of a collective thing. It wasn't one guy. We just couldn't seem to get the ball in the basket early in the game. And like I said, what happens sometimes with that, especially when you got a lot of young guys, to fight through that, I think it affected our defense. And,
now,
but again, you got to give them credit too. I thought, they played really good. I've watched 6-7 tapes on those guys, and I'm not sure they played like that all year. So you got to give them credit. But I thought definitely our offense affected our defense, so we certainly didn't play very well defensively.
Yeah, I mean, making shots obviously is a big part of this game. How did you feel they were running the offense when you guys fell behind? Did you think some of the guys were pressing, maybe trying a little too hard and breaking off the offense, or were you satisfied with how it was run?
No, I think we got hurt a little bit. And, what happens is when you're a competitor and things aren't going your way, you're trying your best to get it going, and that's when you have to have a little bit more patience. And again, we just didn't do that. So our guys, they certainly wanted to win today. They played extremely hard. When you can't make shots, and you look about in any sport, if a golfer hits a few 4 or 5 balls in the water, if a baseball player can't get a base hit, it just becomes a hard game. And that's just probably poor offensively shooting the ball maybe we had all year. I don't know if I've had very many teams that start a game go 3 for 22 or whatever that number was. So that was the factor today more than anything.
Coach, when the game was long over, but I was trying to send you a telepathy in regards to George Wogu. I wanted you to throw him in the ball game, but you didn't pick up on my telepathy. Did it cross your mind at all?
Yeah, it did, and I thought Fidelis and then Festus was taking charges. He wasn't scoring a lot, but he did some things, and I wanted to throw George in there, but then it just got a little too late. When it gets down to the last minute or two, I don't like to do that to guys, and Kalen got in there a little bit. Adam played good.
Yes, he did.
Shots there late, but again, we're relying on a lot of young guys, and anyway, it's one of those days, disappointing days, but you got to roll on.
Talking at the office, the positive aspect, Coach, is you have everybody theoretically back next year. This will be a good group back, and then you're adding a couple of guys health-wise. And again, go ahead. Sorry.
We got to get healthy. Obviously, Lance and Miles. We got to get a little bit older. We got to add some pieces in, and we hopefully get everybody back. But we're close. Today wasn't an indication of that, but I think we're close, and we just got to keep getting better.
Coach, thanks again. You've been great with us, and we do appreciate it. And I know you got to go to their meeting, so I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Mark Godfrey joining us on the post-game show. And I mean, what else? You couldn't really expect much more from Coach.
Yeah, he's so wonderful. I mean, he doesn't duck any question, and then he'll have fun with you if you want to have fun.
So Mark Godfrey joins us. We'll actually bring you his other press conference as well, the official Big West one. Al and I will step aside. We'll come back and wrap it up, and hopefully by then the other press conference will be up, and we'll take you to that. Matadors lose it first round, or the play-in round of the Big West Basketball Championships, 85-63. Back with more after this. Matadors Basketball, CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
We started to press a little
Where's
bit,
Northridge
and we got a little
Toyota?
frustrated.
It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home.
They put
Where
another
is
guy in the
Northridge
game, they
Toyota?
rise up.
It's where they have 64.
Played really, really well. So
Joining Mark Godfrey's
it's kind of a combination. They played really well. We probably, didn't have one of our better games, obviously, and there you get the outcome.
But our guys tried their best. They played hard. We just didn't play well, and that happens sometimes. And when you don't make shots in any sport, it becomes difficult. You don't offensively. We did what we did. That makes the game really hard.
And if you have a question for Coach or TJ, make sure to type question to the chat box and also identify yourself, your entity. TJ, tough way to end the season, tough season in general, not just on the court, but off the court. As a student athlete, how do you feel about the journey from November to now?
It was a long journey. We had to deal with so much stuff like COVID restrictions, Zoom classes, online classes. There were so many factors that played a part into this year. But I feel like we just had to, as a program, we just had to figure it out. I mean, everybody had to deal with it across the country. Coach Godfrey tell us all the time, we're not the only team that's dealing with this. So we just had to figure it out and make it work.
TJ, was it one of those games where it just nothing seemed to be going your way? Was it something where the Long Beach did, or just the fact you guys just didn't make enough shots to kind of stay in the game?
I just think we didn't make enough shots as a team. That was pretty much it. We had a good shoot around yesterday. Had a good warm up before the game. I feel like we had our confidence there. We just came off a good game against who was it? Riverside. We came, even though we lost, we came together. I feel like it got better in that game, and I was confident in our team. I thought we was gonna come out here and showcase our skills, do what we do, show the people what we know how to do. So I'm kind of disappointed. I think we are disappointed, but it's just a game of basketball.
Despite the end today, how excited are you for next year being able to hopefully have full off season, full training camp, and get into it next year?
I mean that's good, like spring break coming up, and then after that we get back in the gym, get back in the weight room, get back to the drawing board, figure it out, do what we got to do to get ready for next season.
We have a question for Coach Godfrey from Andre Soto, the Sundial.
Actually, this is actually a question for both of you guys, both Coach Godfrey and TJ. You guys have had these types of games before the season where you started slow, but it seemed eventually you guys were at least able to make competitive and come back. Like you mentioned Riverside, you guys did the same thing against Hawaii. What was different about today where it just seemed like that never happened?
Well, I think, first of all, I got to give them credit. They kept making shots, but we just never could get in a flow. And, again, we had pretty good shots. I mean, if you go back and think throughout the game, even around the basket, Alex, Fidelis, Festus, TJ, Darius. I mean, we all it wasn't one guy, and we just couldn't find a way to get the ball in the basket very often. And what happens then, it just puts so much pressure on your defense, where your defense has to be spectacular because you're not scoring at all. But I don't know that there was one thing today different than those days. I just think we kind of, we just never got going. And that's disappointing. It's tough. These guys wanted to win. They wanted to play, and just never could seem to get going today.
So you put much into the fact that you did not play Long Beach this season. Did that affect the preparation at all?
I don't think so, because they didn't play us either. So that goes both ways. But I think too, what's important, and you kind of mentioned it, and TJ answered it, but players all across the country have sacrificed a lot this year. They've been isolated in their dorm, and a guy like TJ hasn't been home. Players around the country have done that, and they've done everything that we've asked them to do, is everything that the university's asked them to do, and sometimes it's been difficult. And we didn't have the off season last year, and then we were relying on so many freshmen that didn't have that spring, summer, even into the fall workouts until, basically October. So I'm proud of our players. I'm disappointed for today, but proud of how they handled everything. We had a lot of obstacles, some injuries. We've had a lot going on this year, and they've kept trying. We just didn't play well today, and that makes it really hard.
We have a question from Zal Hassan from CSUN Radio.
Hey, Coach, we've already talked about this, but TJ, I'm curious as to you. The freshmen you played with, I thought made a lot of progress. Take me through from a player's perspective. What was it like playing with those guys, and what's your relationship with that group, assuming everybody's back next year?
At the beginning, it was frustrating. That just come with just playing with young guys, being an older guy. And you just got to figure it out at the beginning. But as the season went on, I feel like we kind of started clicking together and gelling together to figure out how we can buckle down and get these wins late in the season. But just playing with freshmen, it taught me a lot. You know, it taught me how to fix my attitude. It taught me how to put a lot of things in perspective. You know, I can't really do the things I was doing at my other school or before in the past. You know, so I think that playing with freshmen, it kind of helped me get better in a way. You know, as far as well as them, just playing with me, we both get that experience.
But I know you said you answered this a little bit on the radio earlier, but what are you looking forward to next year with such a young group and the year of that?
Well, I can't imagine a whole lot of teams in the country. I was watching a game last night, and they were talking about a couple of young teams, and I said, wait a minute, hold on. You look at our team now. I mean, we got a lot of young guys, and again, when you look at it, I think they really improved, especially if you look at Amon, in November, December, and January. Look at him now. He's way better. Fidelis got better and better. Alex had a weekend last weekend where he had 30 points and 26 rebounds, I think, in 2 games for a freshman. And so those guys all got better. I'm proud of this guy. Like he mentioned, he played with a lot of young players. And, early in the season, that can be frustrating at times because they're just not really ready yet, but then they got better. Same with Darius, those guys. But I think we got a chance. We've got to add some pieces, I think. I think this is a critical offseason. We missed that last year. If you have a veteran team coming back, the weight room and some of that is not as important. When you have a lot of young guys, look around the country. Look and see what happened to Kentucky and Duke and some of them when all those young kids never had the spring and the summer and into the fall. And you take the young players and they don't have that, it really puts you behind. And here we've got, 4 freshmen that played a lot of minutes this year, and they never had that. So this spring and summer is going to be important. It's be critical. If we can all come back and be together, we got a chance to be really, really good. And, again, we've got a couple guys that have been hurt that we think really would have helped us. Lance and Miles, those 2 guys, they've been basically out the whole year. So anyway, we got a chance. We're going to stay positive. We're going to keep building it. And, hopefully each guy, we can sit down and talk about what we want to get better at, improve at, and then you go from there.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Well, that's Mark Gottfried. His press conference is ending up. And final thoughts with you, Alan Zinsmeister.
I love the answers that TJ Starks gave, and thank you for you asked a question, and I was able to get some answers from him. The fact that he was very truthful, and like you could tell, freshmen, they do frustrate you, and I kind of mentioned that you got to trust them, but it's hard when you want to win. You're like, I know what it takes to win in Stark's case, but I got to count and trust these babies to do their part, and that's a fine line to walk. But I was so glad to hear how honest and open he was, and that's a sign of leadership. That's a sign of growth, and I'm sure hopeful that he's able to give some more to these youngsters.
What impressed me most about, and this is an old Bill Parcells line, you don't point the finger, you point the thumb. And TJ, it was about him. It was, hey, I got better. They helped me get better. They got better. And, sounds like, next year they're going to have another year to kind of build on that, another offseason build off that. Buddy, before we sign off, I just want to tell you, 8 years working together. And I enjoy every day that we work together, and I really appreciate our friendship and our relationship. And I know you're going to go back and have dinner with the wife, and I'm glad that she was able to come out and share this experience with you as well.
Well, thank you so much, because we talk about it. Those 8 years have gone by so fast. And,
haven't they?
And in regards to
I was texting with Reggie today, actually, about 2014. That was the first year we worked together.
Yep. In regards to our friendship, I'm totally blessed by it. My family's blessed by it. I think you know that. You know where you stand in the Zinsmeister household. And in regards to just the Matador family, thank you. You care about Ghazal and I. You let us know in so many ways. You appreciate us, and we certainly appreciate you.
So I want to thank several people before we sign off. I want to thank Nick Bocanegra, who's the sports information director for CSUN, and we couldn't do we haven't seen him all year. We got to see him today.
Yep, the band was back together today.
Yeah, Nick is always great. We love to work with him. Roger Kirk, who does the job for Cal State Long Beach State, and then, of course, Mike Villamore, the SID, in charge of the Big West Conference and the Big West Tournament, providing us with all the great information all the year. I want to shout my guy Trent Rush today, too. We chatted a little bit. We kind of, we're both kind of like bridled horses, and you come in and you want to talk to somebody about the game, and we're both working the same game, so let's have a conversation. And he told me a little bit about Long Beach. I told him a little bit about CSUN, and then, because they hadn't played CSUN. Irvine, they'd played Long Beach, but not CSUN. And then, of course, the great Will Carter, our fearless leader at Learfield IMG College, CSUN Matador Sports Properties, back at the studios. He was supposed to come out for the trip. He decided not to. He's back in Northridge at the office, probably selling ads and whatnot. And another year working with Will. We've worked with him for 2 years, and it's great to work with Will. Now, he's got to get us some gear. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about the Under Armour licensed gear. But you know what? I mean, Will does so much for us, and he's so great to us. I want to shout him out as well. And then as far as we go, this is the finale for the Matadors. Obviously, 85-63 the final. But I'm going to be doing some work for Dave Serrano on the baseball program, Alan, and you're always welcome if you want to come out and watch some baseball in the Valley, if you want to fight 45 minutes of traffic to watch college baseball in the day. But, because of the COVID situation, Ross Porter has decided to opt out, and I'll be filling in those games whenever I can. And I'm looking forward to it. I had a great chat with Coach Serrano last week, and I'll probably give him a call in the morning tomorrow and get going with baseball. I think our first broadcast is Saturday the 20th of March against Cal Poly from Matador Field.
Well, you know that I'm happy for you, and Matador basketball fans know how wonderful you are. Matador basketball fans, you tune in to Ghazal called baseball. I mean, you know how good he is in basketball. You ain't heard nothing yet. And it's so wonderful for now, and I can say this with pride, and sooner or later everybody else will be saying it, Ghazal Hassan, the absolute voice of Matador athletics. I can't wait to say that. Next season when it's going on and you call baseball, I'll be saying it every other breath.
Final score tonight, 85-63. I want to thank all of you, all the listeners, and the people who come by. Nobody's came by and said hello at games because you weren't allowed at games, but the tweets, the emails, the texts, they're all very much appreciated. And, I was talking with Trent about this morning. It's like, I think of ourselves as entertainers, but we're like accurate entertainers. We can't just make things up, I see myself as kind of like Dave Chappelle, right? He gives you the funny, but then he gives you a little truth. And I think we, in our own way, try to do that. And if we can do a little bit of that for you, I think we've done our jobs. Because in the end, the games themselves, they'll carry on regardless of who's sitting in these seats.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And I look forward to getting a chance just to once again tell the entertaining story of Matador basketball.
Until next year for basketball, until March 20th for CSUN baseball, for Alan Zinsmeister, my name is Ghazal Hassan. Final score tonight, CSUN loses to Long Beach State in the play-in round of the Big West Basketball Championship, 85-63. Talk to you March 20th from Matador Field. So long, everybody. Good night, Lou. Good night, Arthur. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield IMG College under broadcasting rights granted by CSUN. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of CSUN and Learfield IMG College. Announcers are provided by Learfield IMG College and approved by CSUN.